I'm here in spirit. Don't worry, I'm here in spirit. And with the click of a button, he says, if you can find the button, I aim to be with you very shortly. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Team news is in, hot off the press. Mkhitaryan's on the bench, so that is a positive, I think. De Gea in goal. Darmian, Blind, Rojo, Shaw, so same back four as the weekend. Schneiderlin, Herrera, Rashford, Pogba, Martial, Rooney captain. I did say Rooney was going to start and Mkhitaryan wouldn't start. Follow the United Stand on Twitter a whole hour before the team news comes out. We are getting good information and it is working. Little plug there. But first of all, I just want to say it feels fantastic to be back in the United Stand studio, courtesy of the Draughty Devil. You can see I've got, I can't do this, got little Coco there, little Coco the cat. He might move for us in a minute if you keep an eye on it. But I'm happy with the Manchester United team news, and I'm very happy to be back in the studio. The Draughty Devil back on board. Give him a follow on Twitter. Big shout out to be back where we belong in a proper studio for a proper game for the viewers who deserve the best. And you get the best on the United Stand. So everything's up and running as I want it to be. I'm waiting for Coco to do a little bit of movement, but I'll sit like that for a moment, and if somebody spots it, they can let us know. But yeah, I'm happy with that lineup. The bench is Romero, Phil Jones, Fellaini, Jones and Fellaini, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Young and Zlatan. Mkhitaryan, we want to see some of him in the second half, I would hope. Don't really want to see anything of Jones, Fellaini and Young. And Zlatan, it would be nice not to use him. But looking at that starting 11, like I said, De Gea, Darmian, Blind, Marcus Rojo, Shaw, back four. Schneiderlin with an opportunity. A lot of you have wanted that. And Herrera obviously going to play because he's suspended against Swansea. Rashford, Pogba, Martial. So Pogba, Herrera, Schneiderlin midfield is a positive, isn't it? And then you're going to probably see Rashford on the right, Martial on the left and Rooney up front. So I'm happy with that team. This is exactly the sort of game that Rooney should be playing in. He's not a first team starter in the Premier League. So it's a good, happy starting lineup. And I am happy with it. And I hope you all are as well. In fact, let's see how happy you all are. I think it's good that Mickey returns on the bench so that he can ease his way in, says Varun. And Mark, is the match on, says Football Mad. It will be. Shaka Phillips, you think De Rossi would be good signing for United? Probably about 5 years ago, Mark. Clash with the Mo, says hi. My boy Schneiderlin starting, says Andy GM. And Mickey T coming on second half and scoring a brace. Am I first saying that, says Matthew Gibney. It would be nice. Big game for Schneiderlin. Carrick and Mata will definitely start against Swansea. Positive, says Dan the Man. I would hope so. But we'll wait and see. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm happy with that team. I think it's the right sort of team to be playing. I think Rooney, Zlatan needed a rest. He's not been dropped. He needed a rest. And Rooney, he needs games, doesn't he? I mean, I agree with him being dropped, but he does need games. The issue on Carrick is I'd heard that he maybe has an injury, but I'm not. Hopefully that's not true. Spikey's back. Come on, Mkhitaryan. Matthew Gibney, is the United Stand extra time done for good? It is for now. Yes, pal, it is. I'm having a little bit of a problem with something here. Let me just check. No, it seems to be okay. It's working fine. Just want to make sure that everything is running. Yeah, so ultimately I'm pretty happy with that team. I do need to type it in for you in a minute, but I'm going to get a guest on in a moment. Hi Mark, just got in from college, says MUFC forever. Can't wait for tonight's game. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Are we doing Cool Goldbridge? Yes, good question from Liquid Hill. We will be doing Call Goldbridge. It'll be live straight after the game today. Get on Skype. Skype us in. Call Goldbridge. It's 8:30 every Monday. It's Skype Goldbridge. Mark Goldbridge on Skype is my name, funnily enough. And we've been doing it on a Monday night. Fantastic show last Monday. You all Skyping in. We'll click the button and get you on. But we're doing it after the games as well. So straight after the game tonight, hopefully it's a good result. Get Skyping in and you can be star of the show. It won't be on this link, but we'll sort that out in the second half. We'll be live all the way through till full time. So do get involved. Do you think Mkhitaryan will get on later in the game, says Dylan Cussan? I hope so. He's got to, hasn't he? Surely he's got to get on. I mean, it's ridiculous how long we've been waiting to see him play. But I'm happy that Martial's playing. Dan the Man's just sort of mentioned him as well. Is it a make or bake British Bake Off's finished. Sam Law, Mark, is this a make or break game for Mkhitaryan? I think it's only make or break for him when he actually plays a game, isn't it? So it isn't at the moment. I don't think we need to concern ourselves too much with that. But we'll hopefully see him get on the pitch and we'll take it from there. We need Mkhitaryan to start getting some run of games going to get him prepared, says Ishua. 20 to 30 minutes for Mkhitaryan would be good today, says Free Mickey, funnily enough. Yeah, I think it would be as well. I think also we don't want him to play the whole game, do we? Because we want him to hopefully have some involvement on Sunday at Swansea. But I think Martial's important. I don't like what I've been hearing about a lot of United fans saying, "Oh, I'm not that interested in Martial. He's not that good this season." Let's not forget he was our number one player outfield last year. So it's really good. I'm just speaking to the Draughty Devil because we're having a bit of a problem. But everything looks fine apart from that. And Alex Adams has just messaged me saying absolutely ecstatic that Mkhitaryan's on the bench, which I think we all are. Alex. It is a really real positive. We want to see him, but you can't have it all at once. It's a bit like Christmas. Let's open our presents gradually. And I think in the first half, I'm happy. We've got a lot to look out for in that team for those joining us. I will get it up on the screen in a minute. But you've got, the back four is the back four. Rojo's playing with Blind as centre backs. Luke Shaw again, I think it's good for his development, and Darmian with no Valencia is good for his development as well. But Schneiderlin in that position, it's a real opportunity in a very difficult away fixture in Europe to show what he's got. Herrera, obviously we know all about him and he should play tonight because he can't play on Sunday. Pogba playing again, I think it's just all about getting games in his legs. Rooney, I think Rooney's position is a forward, and then excitement on the wings for a change, Rashford and Martial. And then the bench, Mkhitaryan's on there, and he is the number one option off the bench because, Mata is an option, but you'd want him to be playing at the weekend. So I'm happy about that. I've only just got in, that's why I'm sipping tea, and I'm wearing a jumper because it's a bit chilly in the UK at the moment. I don't know what it's like for all you lot, but I'm happy with that. We've been doing many lineup newses for the last 18 months, and it isn't always the case that you're happy with a Manchester United lineup. We're happy with it. I don't think anybody's too fussed about that. Maybe we'd like to, we can't have everything we want, and maybe we'd like to see Fosu Mensah on the bench. Just chucking the name out there, but I'm not going to be critical about that lineup. It's a good one, and let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to this game anyway. I always like the tougher games with United anyway, and this is a challenge. I'm not a massive fan of the Europa League, as everybody knows, but this is a challenge tonight. It's challenging environment, away fixture. They weren't that bad at Old Trafford, as Jose said himself, and we're getting to see one or two players that I think are going to be important to us. And what I would say as well is, I've been doing the hashtag, we've been doing the hashtag back Jose thing for a few days now, and the reality is we're 7 points off fourth, we're 8 points off top. We should have, I don't think anybody can argue, we should have another 4 points at least. Burnley at home at the weekend should have been any score to nil, and Stoke at home a few weeks ago. So that's another 4 points we definitely should have, which would put us within 3 points of fourth and 4 points of the top, which we'd be happy with. So don't buy the bullshit. I don't want to swear. I don't know why I did that. Don't buy into the nonsense about Jose Mourinho, because it is nonsense. We're heading in the right direction. We're playing some really good football. And did you see him? He's moving. Coco, look, where is he? Just behind me. Can you see him on the back? Ah, Coco the cat, the United stand. He's looking at me as well. Look, he'll be there with us for the rest of the game. That's good. So I'm happy with the team. I'm really happy with it. I'm just going to tell Draughty that we've got it working. And I hope drop us a like if you're slightly new to the United stand. You might have forgotten what our graphics are like when we've got Draughty Devil a part of it, and this is a step up but back, if it makes sense. So do drop a like if you like the setup we've got for you. Visuals is always something we strive for in the United stand, and after a little bit of a lull, hopefully we are back on track. He's looking at me now, look, cheeky beggar. I'll feed you after. But Danderman, is the cat real? It's Coco the cat. I mean, if anybody saw the Football Blogging Awards last year with Kev, he gave him a shout out at the awards. Footy Freak's got a cat called Coco. Anyway, enough of Coco. He's with us for the game. He's loving the attention. It is De Gea in goal, Darmian at right back, Luke Shaw left back, Rojo and Blin centre back, Schneidlin anchor in the midfield. A lot of people are happy with that. Herrera as that number 8, with Pogba slightly ahead of him as the number 10. So they're both attacking midfielders, really. Martial on the left, really pleased about that personally. Rashford on the right, and Rooney up front. Don't be surprised if Rooney starts forcing his way back into the United side. I'd just say that. I do have a funny feeling that that might happen. I mean, whether you're pro that or against it, I do think it could happen. Let me just sort something out here because my head is not right. It's always when you're live. There we go. Okay, Coco is wearing the away strip. He is good to go. What kit are we wearing today? I don't know what kit we are wearing today. That's a very, very good point. Rooney's obviously captain, which is a bit, don't necessarily agree with that, but that is life. All sorts going on, text messages and all sorts. But yeah, I'm happy with that lineup. I hope most of you are. I'm going to hopefully get Ross on the show and give his thoughts on the team. We're still an hour off from kickoff, but the thing with the Europa League is they start it. So they give the team news out quite early, so it's always a bit of a pain. But hopefully we'll get hold of him in a minute. Hi Ross, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm not bad, thanks. You?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Good. Hopefully everybody can hear you while I try and figure out how to get you on visually.
No problem.
Oh, there we go, got you now. What's your thoughts on the team news?
Yeah, I think it's a positive team. It's interesting to see no Carrick in there. I don't know if it is an injury or not, but what I'm hoping is that with Herrera's absence, it's going to be Carrick in on the weekend instead of Herrera, which would be handy because I'm sort of hoping that it's not Fellaini starting on the weekend. But yeah, the team looks good. It's got lots of pace in it. It'd be interesting actually if we get a clean sheet. That'd be the third game in a row that Rojo's been centre back in a clean sheet, which would be interesting. And as well, it's nice to see Schneidlin and good to see Mkhitaryan on the bench. So it's probably about there with the team that I would have played. So no, I'm pleased with it.
Good. And in relation to Schneidlin playing, are you one of those people who thinks that he can actually come back and do something, or I mean, Memphis is not part of this squad, and for those people who haven't realised that, the reasons behind that are potentially because he's just not. He's not been doing very well in training, apparently.
Yeah, I think I thought a couple of weeks ago that Rojo was done for this squad, and it just goes to show you a few injuries and a couple of clean sheets, and all of a sudden they might be back in with a shout. So I did think a couple of weeks ago that this could potentially be the end of Schneidlin, but our game tonight, and we're struggling in midfield. We're struggling to find the balance, and it's crying out for someone to just grab hold of a place in this team. So tonight's a massive game for Schneidlin. I mean, he needs to play. Like, his United career depends on it. So I don't think I think this is a way in for him. A couple of weeks ago, I'd have told you a different answer, but just based on what's going on in the team at the minute and the way we're playing, I think that, yeah, this could be a game for Schneidlin to force his way back in. Because, I know he's brought Schweinsteiger back into training, but Schweinsteiger's not going to play in front of Schneidlin if he takes his chance. So, yeah, massive game for Schneidlin.
And obviously the big one, Mkhitaryan, he actually is on the bench.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I mean, I know he hasn't played a lot, but like you, I think this is a complete nothing game for us. I think we're basically through anyway. A win tonight and we're definitely through. So I'd have just started him because, Rashford's played a lot of games. And what's Rashford going to get out of tonight? Probably not a lot. It's the same with Pogba. I would have rested Pogba as well. And why not? Why not rest Daley Blind as well and play Jones? Because it is a nothing game, and it could be a chance for these players to actually get minutes under their belt. Because Mkhitaryan might come on in this game, but he's definitely not going to play against Swansea, given that he hasn't played for so long, and he's probably going to play today. Probably get half an hour. So, with that, it's good to see him on the bench, but I'd have liked to have seen him from the start. But like I say, it's a good team, lots of balance. It's probably you look at the core with Herrera, Pogba, and Schneidlin, and it's a strong core in that team. You could almost argue with the way Zlatan's playing at the minute, that's our full strength team. So it's interesting he's gone with that as well, because I'd like to see Romero start playing a few of these sort of no hope games, because we've got to keep the guy interested, because he's actually a great keeper to have as a second choice keeper. I mean, I think he'd walk into Liverpool's team at the minute. So, and it's good to have that competitiveness in that role. So I'd have given him a start.
Coco's head popped up then about that. Romero is a good player. I mean, I don't rate Romero, but I would agree that why not play your reserve goalkeeper in these sort of games? What I would pick up on there is you on about Pogba getting rested. I remember when you said that last time, and he had a great game against Fenerbahce. I think he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't, because if he plays him and he gets injured, everyone will say, why has he done that? But actually, I do think the more games Pogba plays, the better he's becoming in form. And but then again, Swansea at the weekend, then we've got an international break anyway. I don't know. Hopefully Carrick is being rested. There was some talk on Monday that he might actually have an injury, in which case God knows what's going to happen. Just on the Schweinsteiger thing, Jose's come out and said that he is part of the squad to make the numbers up so that they've got a balance. He hasn't got any midfield concerns at the moment, so he'll have to wait his turn. But I'd agree with what Ross is saying there. At the end of the day, it's just baffling that Schweinsteiger would be behind any queue other than crap hair when it comes to Fellaini. It's just ridiculous. But that is the manager. Everybody has got their little weaknesses in their personality. I think Mourinho is the best manager in the world, and he will prove that. But God knows what he's thinking about Fellaini. Rooney comes into the team. I don't really have an issue with that. I was saying a few minutes ago, don't be surprised to see Rooney back in the starting 11. The Premier League side. Do you think he is close to that, or do you think he's still a long way off?
It's a big game for him for that, because he obviously played really well when we last played Fenerbahce, and I'm a bit. I change my mind on Rooney all the time. Some weeks I think I just don't want him anywhere near, and then when he's out of the team, I seem to think I actually kind of miss Rooney. So with Zlatan as out of form as he is, he is. You're totally right. He's pushing back for a start, but he's got to play well tonight, and he needs a goal. A goal could be massive for Rooney. Thinking that Zlatan's not scored in 6-7 games now, and if Rooney gets a goal, you'd almost feel like he's the more informed goal scorer. But to flip that right on its head, I'd actually like to see Martial or Rashford play up front and try a bit of pace, because it just seems that we've got two alternatives at the minute. We've got a quite slow Ibrahimovic, and we've got a slow Rooney, and one's better at holding up the ball than the other, and we have no plan B. So, the plan B to be Rooney up front is just the same plan, but just a slightly worse version. So I'd like to see him try Martial up front, but you know what, I am a Rooney fan, so it's good to see him in the starting 11 again, and hopefully he can prove himself. Because it's interesting. Again, I was watching a few training clips of him today, and he's actually it's kind of strange, because for the last couple of years he actually looks quite physically fit, looks in shape, and it seems to be the more in shape he gets, the worse his football gets. So I don't know if he needs to just go out and eat a few burgers, and that's the answer.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with the thing here.
That cat, it's a curse.
Bloody cat. No, I mean, I just think Rooney, I had to go at him a bit after the Burnley game, and people were like, well, why are you picking on him because he didn't even play? And I just think, Wayne Rooney is our biggest earner. He is our captain, and he's our captain again tonight. And I just think that he should be, doing more as Wayne Rooney, as an asset for Manchester United. So if he comes into the team tonight and he starts doing well, then I think there's only one position he can play anyway, and I throw that over to you and the live comments. I think Rooney can only play as a number 9. He should never be anywhere near the number 10 position again, because we don't need him as a number 10. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, and he's at the end of the day, when push comes to the shove, as much as, and I throw this to you as well, Rooney scores a couple of goals tonight and plays well. Would you play him against Thingy at the weekend, Swansea, or would you go back to Zlatan?
No, I'd go back to Zlatan. I mean, Zlatan's missed lots of opportunities and cost United lots of points, but he didn't, apart from that horrendous miss for the Pogba cross, he didn't actually play that bad against Burnley. And the Burnley goalkeeper did have an absolutely out of this world performance. And I think hold up play and build up play and the way he wins the ball in the air, he offers so much more than Rooney in that number 9 position. And you talk about Rooney being a captain, but we hear a lot about he's such a great captain when he's not off the pitch, and he's great for the team spirit in training. But for me, the captaincy starts on the pitch, and I don't think Juan Mata should be captain of this team ahead of quite a few players on there. But I thought he put in a right captain's display against Burnley by the performance that he put on out there. He doesn't need to go charging into challenges and just causing a ruckus. He just does the simple things well, and I think that's a captain's performance for me. Someone that can just take a game by the scruff of the neck like he did. So if Rooney has a good, even if he scores a hat trick today, I wouldn't start him against Swansea, no chance. But yeah, he will. He is a big earner, and he needs to start. Even if he can become a Europa League player for us, he needs to do something to earn his keep this year. So he needs to start pushing Zlatan like he is at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if it went the other way, actually, and we got the token Rooney sub 70 minutes for Mata, because it's always the other way around. So that'd be nice to see for once. But one thing with Zlatan is he can get caught behind the attack, says Jamie O'Hare. And Rashford is wasted on the wings, says Jesse Lingard. It's an interesting point, because Jose this week was saying that he's suffering from growing pains, and I've sort of alluded to it on Sunday night with Alex, saying that ideally you want Martial and Mkhitaryan playing well, because I think Rashford needs a bit of a taken out the firing line almost, Ross. It's, he is only just 19, he is growing literally, and he's starting every game. I think Rashford's impact, like we saw against Hull, sometimes his best work will be done off the bench.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why he's starting today. Like I said earlier, I'd rather have seen Mkhitaryan just thrown in the deep end again than play Rashford, because he's played so much football. I mean, he didn't start the first couple of games, and after that, he's pretty much started every game, and he doesn't rarely get subbed. And he's adapted his game a little bit for Mourinho, but his best position is up front. And I know I agreed with a point that you said, that he might get exposed a little bit up front, as opposed to being on the left wing where he gets more time on the ball and it's less physically demanding for him. But we need a plan B, and the plan B should be if Ibrahimovic is having a bad game and things are not going our way, why don't we take Ibrahimovic off, put Rashford on, who's fresh, and do a new tactical edge to the game and start going over the top as opposed to always defeat. But unless we get a Martial in form or a Jesse Lingard performing, he's going to put Rashford on the wing, because he's probably a better winger than Jesse Lingard. So he's kind of in a catch-22. It's kind of like Rooney early days, where he was sort of better in positions that he shouldn't have been playing than other players that we had in the team at the time.
Yeah, we don't want to see that happening. I mean, Jesse Lingard, he did play against Burnley, not even on the bench today. Do you think he's one of them players maybe being left out for Swansea, or do you think he's got bigger issues? He didn't have a fantastic performance against Burnley, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think he might be rested. It might be interesting, he might rest Rashford against Swansea. I can't. To me, this seems like a full-strength team apart from Juan Mata, but I think that there is a lot of players that are going to be rested, from this team to Swansea, and he'll try and switch it up a bit. It'd be interesting to see how many minutes Phil Jones gets as well. But I hope that Rashford just probably plays 60 minutes, plays well, and comes off, because I think he needs. I kind of feel that he's either going to get dropped for poor form at the minute, or he's going to get a horrendous injury by overplaying. So I think, like you say, he needs to be taken out of the firing line, because he's probably going to play for England in the international break as well and come back, and he's not going to be fresh. So yeah, I'll definitely rest him.
Team news is going on the bottom of the screen for you now. I'll just whiz through it very quickly. De Gea in goal, Darmian and Shaw full-backs, Rojo and Blind centre-back, Schneidlin anchoring the midfield, Herrera and Pogba, Rashford on the right, Martial on the left, and Rooney up front. I mean, I'm happy with that team. I really am happy with it. Mkhitaryan's on the bench. The bench isn't that great, to be honest. You know, Zlatan's on there, Mkhitaryan's on there, and then it starts to go a bit wrong. And Mata's on there, then it starts to go a bit wrong. Ashley Young, Fellaini, Phil Jones, and obviously Romero. So hopefully we're going to see Mkhitaryan. He's got to be the... I mean, what I would say very quickly is that... I'll throw this to you, Ross, as well. Mkhitaryan's obviously become big news recently. I did say, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't surprise me. Just because Mkhitaryan's on the bench doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to get sold or anything like that. It's whether he gets used off the bench we'll learn more.
Yeah, and Mourinho is a classic one for playing players that he wants to sell to jack up their fee. But I hope that that's not the case. I do think that potentially could be the case with Schweinsteiger, but yet again, I hope not. But he definitely has a history of doing that. And I kind of think as well, I mean, I know Mourinho's been a classic at doing the diverting media attention off certain people and certain parts of Man U's play in the past. And I kind of, you know, I might be totally off here, but I kind of think this bringing Schweinsteiger thing in is to take attention off things like Mkhitaryan, because since Schweinsteiger coming back into training, it's all I've seen from social media and the press is Schweinsteiger. And I don't know if he's done that as a bit of a ruse as to, you know, we'll take the pressure off Mkhitaryan. No one's talking about him anymore, apart from actually United fans, and just sort of take the pressure off the team a bit. And everyone, all they can talk about at the minute is Schweinsteiger. So that could be the case.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just messaging Martin about the Football Blogging Awards and how we're going to get drunk. But I'll hold judgment on Mkhitaryan until he actually gets on the pitch. And I think if he gets on the pitch, he'll show what his quality is about. I saw that clip of when he came on against Hull a few weeks ago, and it's I know it's only one clip, but he's shown in that what he's got. He's got a good change of pace, good with both feet, and I think this is the sort of game that would suit him as well. And correct, my geography was rubbish on Skype Goldbridge the other night, but I don't think Armenia is that far away from Turkey either. So not that means anything, but there you go. The one thing I wanted to touch on for a few minutes, very quickly, is the when we went into the international break the first time. I think we went in with 9 points, a really perfect start. Then the second international break, we'd lost to City, we'd lost to Watford, we beat Leicester, and then we drew with Stoke. So we took 4 from 9. So we've taken 9 from 9 in one, 4 from 9 in the second one, and this one, as we go into it with 4 games played, well, we've lost. We drew with Liverpool 1 point. We lost to Chelsea. We've drew with Burnley, so that's 2 from 9. We need to beat Swansea, and even then, I don't think 5 from 12 is really good enough.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm quite calm at the minute of where United are, because of, you know, we're in all competitions. We're not far off top spot. I know 8 points it seems like quite a long lot of points, but it's so early in the season that could be made up within sort of 2-3 weeks. And yeah, we all got carried away when we had all these signings and we're going to win the league, and I was one of them. But in the back of my mind, I knew that this could happen as well. And you know, you picture back to sort of Christmas last year under Van Gaal, and that was a rut. That was the team not playing well. We didn't have the signings. We knew we weren't going to make the signings, and that was a real sort of bad time to be a United fan. But now I'm just relaxed on it, and regardless, even if we don't beat Swansea, I think, you know, this team is nowhere near the finished article. But I've seen small glimpses of the football that we are able to play, and once it gels, and it will gel, I think we'll become a bit of a force again. And the only positive that I can take out of our bad form, which I was thinking about earlier, was the fact that, you know, out of all this sort of bad form that we're in at the minute, it's kind of, we've lost a lot of, you know, United plastic fans, which I'm kind of pleased about, to be honest, because, you know, they can go off and support Man City now because they're doing well, and it exposes the frauds, and then the real fans come out who actually can see through it, and we can see how the team are playing, and, you know, I don't have any concerns.
No, braver man than me for saying that, I suppose, as the host. It's more difficult, but I was thinking it the other day, funnily enough, that, you know, this period of 3 years and this season will really separate the wheat from the chaff. And there are glory supporters out there. You know, it's amazing. There are fans out there who will be United fans, and then they'll be supporting Leicester and Man City or Liverpool this year. It's ridiculous, but that's what you get. But I was saying before you came on air, I mean, the reality is, and I know every club can say, oh, we should have won this, we should have that. I mean, when I think of Arsenal, I remember they played somebody away and they literally scored with the last kick of the game. I can't remember who it was. I think it was up north. It was about 2 or 3 weeks, probably 3 or 4. It was Koscielny who scored, and I think he handballed it in as well. I mean, that's 2 points they never should have won. But Burnley, I don't think any football fan in the world could argue that we should have won that game. And it's bad that we didn't. It's a reflection on us. And the same with Stoke. We should have won that game. We played really well. We just didn't put the ball in the net twice. So that's 4 points we realistically should have. And when you add those 4 points to our season, we're in touching distance of the title and top 4. So that's the way I look. That's the way I look at it. I don't know about you, but the big thing for me, Ross, is the fact that the football's been very good. I mean, I say it so many times, but I feel sorry for Pogba, Mata and Herrera, because I think what they've been doing has been amazing. And I think you can't drop too many points. I think those Burnley points and those Stoke points could come back and bite us on the backside at the end of the season, because they are points that never should have been dropped. But if we went to Swansea on Sunday, got absolutely dominated, and somehow managed to goal and nicked 3 points, I'd probably feel slightly better than I would if we went there and beat them 4-0. Well, I wouldn't. I'd rather win 4-0. But I think hopefully there will be a game where we don't deserve to win and we win it, and that will balance it out, like you say.
Yeah, and we had so many of them under Ferguson where we didn't play well, and if it was probably Fergie time, we'd have beaten Burnley. I think the difference comes at the minute with the positivity that we're taking is that we had so many games last year where under Van Gaal we were absolutely dreadful, and then he'd nick a result and somehow stay in his job for the next sort of 2 weeks, and it was so frustrating to watch. Which is why we're now at the minute we can see the positive, we can see how the team are playing, and it is frustrating. And I think we are due a bad performance because we haven't actually seen one since the Man City game, really. So we are due a bad performance, and that'll probably be when we'll start nicking wins. But as I say, that's where we take the positivity for, because I haven't seen United play sort of as well, especially again. I know it's only Burnley, but we should have. In another day, we'd have battered them 5-0. Another day, another keeper. So there's a lot of positives that I'll take from that, and I think that we come back off the international break and we play Arsenal, which is. What a massive game that's going to be, and this is where I hope we batter Swansea, because I think that will kind of dictate how Mourinho will set up against Arsenal. Because if he doesn't get a result at Swansea, he's gonna definitely not want to lose that Arsenal game, and I worry about how we'd set up. But I think on the back of a win, even though it's before international break, that'd make him set up a lot more attacking and go out for the kill. I mean, I don't think the guy's ever lost to Wenger, so we can take some positivity out of that. And if we did, theoretically beat Swansea and then going into that Arsenal game, if we get a result at home to Arsenal, all of a sudden the season could just flip on its head in 2 games, and everyone would be talking about United again and possibly title contenders. And then sure, on the other foot we lose them, and then it'll all be doom and gloom. But like I say, that I think we're playing well enough, and we have good enough players to sort of go on a little winning run right now.
Keen226 is saying Rooney will score today. To be honest, I think with the amount of talent he's got around him, Pogba, Herrera, Rashford, Martial, he should be scoring tonight. I've been saying that for a few weeks. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't score, because he's got some real attacking talent around him. Zlatan's been missing chances, so hopefully that won't continue for Rooney. I don't know what Timbo's on about. He seems to be mentioning every video packaging there is out there. And somebody just said, what's the team news? It is going along the bottom of the screen for you, so hopefully you can see that, but I'll just whiz through it very quickly for those who can't. De Gea in goal, Darmian right back, Shaw left back, Rojo and Blind centre backs, Schneidlin anchoring the midfield, Herrera and Pogba attacking midfielders, Rashford on the right, Martial on the left, Rooney up front. So it's a very, very positive team. It's a team that I'm very happy with, and Mkhitaryan's on the bench, which again is a huge positive, I think. Red Soldier says 3-2 to United tonight. Ross, what about you? What score predictions? What are you thinking?
3 or 4-0, to be honest. I think that as crazy as it sounds, I think the defence will get another clean sheet, and I think we're all going to be talking about the fact that this ridiculous Rojo has come into this back 4 and then somehow managed to get clean sheets all of a sudden. But it does help that he's playing with a very composed Daley Blind, and he's got Luke Shaw to the left of him, which Luke Shaw's rarely going to get done for pace, so he's not really going to get exposed too much. But I think for that back four as well, the fact that Damian's come in for Valencia just tightens that up even more so. So yeah, I can't see us conceding a goal tonight. I know it's away, and I expect a little bit more from Fenerbahce because they had no fight at Manchester, and they can't do that in front of their own fans. But yeah, I think 2-3, sort of 4-0. If I was to now hit one result, I'd say 3-0. Kind of hoping Pogba doesn't score though.
Why?
Because every time he scores in a Europa League game, you get the Twitter, he can only do it in Europa League brigade, and that really winds me up. So I'd wish he just stay out the headlines tonight and give it all to Rooney. Let Rooney score all the goals. Well,
I said it the other day, Man City get a very good result in the Champions League, and so do Arsenal, but the first thing they do is not celebrate their win, it's slagging United off and Pogba. I mean, obsessed or what? But I think we'll win 2-1. I think that's what I went for in the preview, and I'll stick with that. I don't think Fenerbahce are a bad side. They're the home side. And I think 2-1 we should, I think if we can win tonight, it is a confidence thing. My only concern with the Europa League, and it's been borne out unfortunately, is that we've played 3 games in the Europa League, we've had 3 Premier Leagues afterwards, 3 Premier League games after it, and we've taken 1 point from 9, and we've got a difficult game on Sunday. And I don't think resting players, because we've done that before, makes any difference. It's just this Thursday-Sunday thing, it just always seems to bite you in the backside. And Swansea away would, they're a bit of a banana skin anyway, but the fact that they've had a whole week off and we're in Turkey, I think if we can get a result on, I've got a bad feeling we won't get a result on Sunday, and we desperately need one. Swansea are shocking at the moment, but that means nothing. They'll still come and give it a go. So hopefully, will Mkhitaryan get a game tonight, Mark? And Sunday, says Scarfless 117. He's on the bench. We were talking about it a few minutes ago. I think it really comes down to hopefully he will give him at least a half. At least half an hour. I doubt he'd probably come on at half time, to be honest, but half an hour would be good. And you know what? Rashford needs a rest, so it'd be nice to see him come on for that Rashford right wing position. The good thing about it, Ross, is that there is no other wing. Well, there's Ashley Young, I suppose, but he's been playing at fullback. So if we're looking for an attacking substitution on either flank, it really should be looking to bring Mkhitaryan in there.
Definitely. I think that how many heads would you see banging against a brick wall if he took Martial off and put Mata on the right? We'd all be furious. So it has to be Mkhitaryan. And, it's we all got so excited in the summer when we signed him, and then we've all kind of, with the talk of him leaving, I've tried to not let it pretend that I don't really care, but I really do, I never want to see a signing come in and not make it. And because he's a new signing, he'll get the fans backing so much from the experiences that he's had. I know we're away, but he'll still get a lot of support. So I want him to come on, and I want him to make a difference, because it's teams like this where he could tear them apart, because they're probably on the same level as sort of mid-table German league teams, which is the teams that he was ripping apart last season. To judge him on one game against a good Man City team when we played very poor is harsh, regardless of his attitude sort of before and after. So,
and he had Fellaini anchoring in the midfield.
Exactly. And, we just got exposed all over the pitch. It wasn't him. It wasn't necessarily Jesse Lingard. I know they were the worst, but it was a bad performance from the team. So, yeah, I want him to come on. Go on.
I think in that game as well, I'm trying to think. It's a very important point. The game that's really cost him is the City game where he was taken off at half-time. And I'm pretty sure Herrera came on at half-time and had a brilliant second half. He wasn't starting. So that midfield was... it must have been Fellaini and Pogba out of position with Rooney ahead of him, which was just... it was a car crash midfield that we kept using. And I know we won the first 3 games, but the opposition in the first 3 games are very slow to start Southampton side, which has got a lot better. Hull, who've been proved to be pretty rubbish, and Bournemouth were dreadful on the first game of the season. So, he was thrown in at the deep end. It was a poor half by everybody in the Manchester derby. But most important of all, he had, Fellaini, whatever you think about him, and I don't think very much, he can't pass further than 5 yards sideways. So, he wasn't... And Rooney was playing the worst football he's ever played. Pogba was struggling at that time. So, totally different set of situation, hopefully, that he'll come into with United. I'd agree with everything Ross has said there, and I just hope that he can have a run in it. Sean Webley saying, why is Memphis not involved? Well, if you believe he's not injured, if you believe what's coming out, it's that his attitude in training, which I'm going to ask Ross about quickly in a minute, Orbir is saying, concerning Schweinsteiger, Jose did say if he stays, he's another option for the midfield. Do you think he will be? Was just before I ask you about Memphis there, I mean, we were disappointed. I couldn't move past that result on Saturday for a long time. But then Monday lunchtime, Schweinsteiger's back in the first team. And it was like a new signing. It really, really has boosted us. And today I sort of feel it as well. I mean, Martial involved, that for me personally is massive. Mkhitaryan as well. I know a lot of people, I'm not so bothered about Schneiderlin. I think he has had opportunities. I'd love him to prove himself. There are a lot of people who want that to happen, so they'll be happy. Darmian, I like Darmian. I'd sort of thought his ship had sailed, but I thought he played well against Burnley. And I think he can be an option at right back. Luke Shaw as well, another game for him. So there's a lot of things to be excited about this week about the United side. But very quickly, do you think Schweinsteiger will be used, or do you think he is just going to be off in January? I think the appetite from him is to be used. It's just Mourinho, isn't it?
I don't think he will for a little while, maybe a month or so. But I think he, I hope that Mourinho. The one thing I think a lot of us, with the excitement about bringing Schweinsteiger in, is that every week that we look at it, we think Carrick needs to be playing in this team. I've said this before, and the only player that we have that's kind of similar to Carrick, I don't think he's as good on the ball, but sort of in work rate and composure is Schweinsteiger. And if you don't have to start every game with one of them, but for certain games you could think actually this one will fit Schweinsteiger, this one will think Carrick. And when Schweinsteiger joined, I don't think for such an older player at the age that he was, I was so excited to see him. And I thought he's another one that I kind of felt sorry that he was playing in a Van Gaal team. I know it's supposed to be his mate, but he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was doing with any of them players, and Schweinsteiger's kind of had a bit of a rough deal at United. And for someone that engrosses the club so much and has so much respect, and the way he's handled himself since being dropped, I don't think I've ever seen that from a professional footballer. He might have been doing it despite Mourinho, but it didn't come across that way. It just looked genuinely just happy, just still to be here, which was bizarre. And the tweet that we all saw, which was Manchester United tweeting out that he was in gear, I just was so excited. And I think Mourinho's tried to play it down with saying that he still might leave because Mourinho's going to come under fire for bringing him back because it's him admitting a mistake. So I think he's just tried to play that down, but I think he will get used at some point. Maybe in the sort of run-up to Christmas when the games start getting really compact, and into January when the FA Cup comes in, I can definitely see him getting used.
Yeah, Jason Braithwaite, if we sell Darmian, we'll regret it sorely. We'll see. Well, the thing about Darmian is, I'm a big fan of his. I thought he was finished. Valencia's broke his hand. Darmian's got a run of games. I hope it works for him. If it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be. But at least he's going to get a chance now, and I think that's a real positive. That's a cat behind me. That's Coco. People are asking who's moving. And what were we talking about? We were going to talk about Memphis, but Schweinsteiger. Yeah, I think his professionalism has probably surprised Mourinho as well. He's been impeccable, turning up at games, tweeting out positively. And I don't think Jose needs to worry too much about what the press think, because I don't listen to the press. They're trying to get our manager out. And he doesn't need to worry too much about the fans if he brings Schweinsteiger back. In our head, we'll think, well, you did waste a couple of months. But, you're picking Fellaini, Jose. We don't think much of that. So bring Schweinsteiger back and get rid of the tree.
I don't know how these managers sort of micromanage their players, but you have to listen to your players to a certain degree to find out what sort of the squad wants. And I can imagine that the clamour for the players to get him back in the team would have been quite dramatic. I mean, you saw the tweets coming out from Shaw and Rooney straight away saying great to have him back. And I think it would have been, as much as it's the players and the fans both calling for something, you have to listen.
Yes, and also, in fairness, we have been critical about Rooney, me personally, and Alex, and I'm not personally critical of Rooney in the fact that I dislike him or anything like that. I just think he is on the decline, and people needed to realise that. But a lot of people tried to level it at Rooney, that he was the reason why Schweinsteiger had been sort of moved out, because they were all not happy about him going around watching his wife play tennis. But I think that's really unfair on Rooney and Schweinsteiger, because it's very abundantly clear that they actually have a very good relationship. So yeah, I don't know whether there's any truth in that. It may well have just been Mourinho's choice. I mean, I will always be baffled by any player being picked, snubbed it over Fellaini. I really would. And I do think, like Ross said, that the perfect thing to, and we've not, Carrick's been misused this year as well. What we should have done is just had Carrick and Schweinsteiger alternating. It would have been, that's really what we thought would have happened. And then, you've got Herrera, Mata and Pogba as your attacking midfielders to fight it out, because they can't play every week. But what was I going to ask? I'm going to talk about Memphis just very quickly, and then I'll let you get off, Ross. I'll just say it quite bluntly. There's no point in beating about the bush here. I did say in the summer that what I was asked what I thought was going to happen with Memphis, and I did say that he needed to hit this season like Lionel Messi almost, because he's got Martial ahead of him. Mkhitaryan was an option then. Rashford obviously, and I felt he was at least fourth or fifth choice wide player for United, and he's not even part of what is basically our reserve squad today from the first team. It's not our first team. He's not even on the bench. I think Memphis is finished at Manchester United. I can't be more blunt than that. I think he's finished. I think already Mourinho's given him his chance, and it's just not been taken.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't agree with him being finished, but yeah, I don't think he's going to get back into this team, and it's disappointing, but
it's got to be an attitude. It's got to be an attitude problem, though, Ross. Don't you think? I mean, it has to be.
But I'm not defending him. But if I was not getting in the team because Lingard and Ashley Young were ahead of me, I think I'd have an attitude problem, to be honest. Because I and everyone sort of points towards the fact that he did so well in a Mickey Mouse league. Let's be honest. But there's talent there. Jesse Lingard couldn't go out on loan to the Dutch league and score sort of 25, 30 goals. There's talent there, but yeah, it might be an attitude thing, because he has sort of taken this. He's taken the kind of Pogba celebrity lifestyle, but he hasn't had the performances to back it up. So that's all you see is this Instagram life of his, and yeah, maybe that's starting to wear a bit thin. And it's these kind of times where you just need to get your head down, and it's kind of disappointing, because I thought that he started to sort of become back in favour, especially with the sub on at Burnley. I thought, well, hang on, he's actually giving him a bit of chance, putting a bit of faith in. But then, yet again, what's he brought him on for? He's probably brought him on for an excellent crossing delivery and to beat a man, and he failed to do either of them things. So he's probably, I'm going to put a bit of trust in you, Memphis. I need something from you here, and he's just failed to deliver again. And I think them moments. Even though he's only getting 10 minutes, Mourinho's judging him quite a lot on them moments, and he might have just had his judgment and gone, I'd actually rather use Ashley Young, because let's be honest, Ashley Young is absolutely rubbish, but he can put in a decent cross. If Memphis is not doing that, what use is he? He doesn't track back. He can't beat a man going forward at the minute, and his crossing delivery is dreadful. So why are we playing him? Which is probably why he's looking probably like a January exit, but it will be. All United fans would be so disappointed to see him go, because we'll want him to do well, but at the same time, it would be so disheartening seeing him scoring goals and actually getting his head down for another team. But he'd have to move leagues, because he wouldn't be. If he goes to a lower down Premier League team, he'd get heavily exposed. He'd have to move to be honest, I can see someone like PSG going in for him.
Yeah, I'm just looking up at the moment, because I'm just making sure that I've got my telly set up and everything. But no, I agree again with a lot of what you said there. Let me just take some comments before I sort of clarify what I think. Memphis is really awful, says Adads. Jason Braithwaite, Memphis is done. He should have gone to Liverpool. The thing is, though, he might have gone to Liverpool under Klopp and done a lot better. I do think there is talent there, but I'll come to that in a minute. Jay Wilkinson, MUFC. Memphis is the Dutch Scott Sinclair, finished and useless. Dale Niche, that's a good point. Apart from you're probably joking. I'll come back to that as well. Dale Niche, good evening all. What's happening? I'm only laughing because I was looking for a Memphis comment. Memphis is no good, says Manny G. Anyone's better up front than Ashley Young. God, remember him doing that. That was Van Gaal, wasn't it?
Played him left back next game as well.
Memphis should go on loan. Yeah, a loan probably would good to him, but I think that point about Scott Sinclair is the one I would pick up on first. I agree with Ross. I think Memphis has got talent. He did play in a league that was a bit pub teamy, but I saw him play for Holland in games as well. And whether it's a pub team or not, he was very good. And the one thing that disappointed me most, it just popped into my head, he was brilliant at free kicks. Free kicks, doesn't matter what league you play in. You should, that is a talent and a skill. He couldn't, he was hitting the. I'm nearly going to say hit the ceiling, but he was just awful at free kicks whenever he took them for United. Something just like a switch went off. I think the problem with him is that it's 18 months of not really playing, not performing, and his age, I think he's like maybe 22, 23, I don't know. It's a bit like Janusaj. He's turned into a mushroom. He's spending too much time in the dark, and these are development years for him. And he should be on an upward curve, and he's definitely on a downward one. I think his days at United are done. I really do. And he needs. I don't really care about Memphis if he's not a United player. I do think, like Ross, if he made the right move, he could still make it as a decent player. But I don't have any sympathy with him. I do think he's been given opportunities at United, and his attitude keeps coming out. I remember it last year as well, Ross, with Giggs. There was talk of Giggs being fed up with him. There's now talk that Mourinho's fed up with him. If you've not got the attitude, you've not got the attitude. But what I would just say in relation to Memphis as well that really annoys me, and it isn't his fault, is why the hell did we give him the number 7 shirt? Why are we giving away our best shirt to new signings that we don't know what's going to happen with them?
Yeah, well, the loan point actually is something that I hadn't actually thought of, and it is a great thing to do with a player like that because it's a kind of a win-win. Like with Januzaj, Januzaj's finished at United, and you can see that from his dismal performances at Sunderland. But it just gives you the little bit of hope that if they do turn good, then you still have him. So I'd probably look to loan him out because, especially when you loan him out as well, you also take the shirt number off him, and then if he is to come back at any point, you can actually assign him a new shirt number without it being too much of a controversial thing. Same with Januzaj. The number 11 will never go back to Januzaj. No. So, and you're right. Giving Memphis the number 7 and Januzaj the number 11 is just it makes that shirt number just look like an ordinary shirt number, and it isn't. It's prestigious. They both are because Giggs made the 11 prestigious. So we should be careful about who we're giving these squad numbers out to. And I'd rather see it to go to a player that's actually been at the club a little while. I mean, I know he's not a winger, but I'd give the number 11 to someone like Juan Mata because, that they actually deserve it rather than just give it to any old new signing, because we could have given the number 11 to Mkhitaryan and then again would have been talking about, well, why have we done that? Or we could have given the 7 to Mkhitaryan and taken it off Memphis. So I do agree. We need to stop giving these sort of prestigious shirt numbers away just for the sake of it,
Well, the number 7 is for me one of the biggest shirts in world football. It's certainly United's biggest shirt, and it's been demeaned. It's almost been retired. It's just not been used properly for a few years. But you've been on for ages, Ross. Thanks very much for coming on. Do you want to come on at half time? No pressure.
I can't, mate. I'm playing football actually.
Oh, you're not watching the game. I've exposed you, but
I'm watching the first half.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully, get you on Sunday if you're about. But as always, very good points from Ross, and thanks for coming on, pal.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks.
See you in a bit.
Cheers.
I just have no time for Memphis in relation to what, he earns a lot of money at United. It's a massive opportunity at United. He should be doing better at United. But the number 7 shirt, you can't really blame him for. And I'm fed up of that. Let's get somebody in. Give it to Rashford. He's not going to go anywhere. He's a really exciting talent. Give it to Rashford. I understand why Mourinho didn't take it off Memphis, by the way, because this is a player who had a massive season ahead of him, needed confidence. To take this number 7 off him would have been very harsh. But can you put the oven on at 6 and the heating on? How am I supposed to do that when I'm live? So we'll see what happens. It is a 6 p.m. kickoff. Mad Marcus is on the moderating box. I hadn't seen him yet. Welcome to him. I've got Sander coming on now. Hi, Sander. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Good. Let me get you on the screen. We're just talking about Memphis there. I mean, I don't know whether you've got a different view on him. Obviously not involved in the Europa squad, probably because he's a bad attitude again, which I was saying a few minutes ago was sort of rumoured last year with Giggs not being impressed with him. I think Memphis is finished, but I know there's, this is the United Stand, it's a fan channel. I know there's a lot of United fans out there who like Memphis. Where do you stand on it?
Well, I think you said earlier on in the show that you think he's been given his chance and he's not taking it. Well, under Mourinho, that is. And to be honest, I disagree with you, Mark. I think under Mourinho, he's not been given a run of games. And yeah, you can throw him on for half an hour at the end of a game or in a, do you know what I mean? But in a Europa League game one time and then not put him in the next game. But for me, that's not a chance. A player needs 3-4 games. You've seen with Pogba, we know the quality that Pogba's got. And we've been saying, he needs a run of games to show his real quality, and I think that's exactly what Memphis needs. So I think to say he's been given his chance, I think is incorrect. But yeah, that's what I think. I do like Memphis. I was so excited when he joined. My parents are both Dutch, so I was hoping he was a young new talent for the Dutch team as well. And I was so excited to see him fail. And when he got those goals against Bruges, I don't know if you remember them. I was so ecstatic to have him there, but it's just not worked out for him. And I remember he had a scuffle with Van Persie in the national team. And he's, I think Ross said earlier on the show, you always see this Instagram lifestyle, the new cars and the new shoes, and it's a bit like, he's got this big money move, and he's not backed it up. You know what I mean? Like he's claiming to live this lifestyle and is big superstar. To be honest, mate, you can't even get into like the reserves of Man United, and so it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I think I do agree with you. It is an attitude problem. Quickly again on Memphis, I would say, why not give him a game in the under-23s? Yeah. Because, he is eligible for that. He is underage, and the under-23s, I know, are crying out for someone who can create, someone who can run at players and a fast player. So why not give him a game in there? They're struggling, and he's struggling. Maybe he can get his confidence back. We've been saying how much of a confidence player he is. Why not? That's what I think.
I adore people coming on and opposing something I think. I think it's great. And it's good as well because I know there's a lot of people out there who like Memphis. And I have to be fair and say, he hasn't started games, and I think that's what people want to see. They want to see him starting games instead of getting last half an hour, etc. What I would say, in defence of my point, is that he is not doing it in training. He's not performing in training, because if he was performing in training, he would have been given them opportunities. So I understand the frustration about Memphis, but I do think it just comes down to attitude. And I don't really care about the footballer lifestyle. I mean, it grates on a lot of people. It's ridiculous the money they earn. But you know what? If they perform on the pitch, they perform on the pitch. And unfortunately for him, he isn't. But Malcolm Tall says a Griezmann to take the number 7. I disagree with that. I disagree with that because that's doing exactly the same thing we did with Di Maria and Memphis. I think respect that number 7. It's the most iconic Manchester United shirt for a reason. I think Griezmann could come and fill that shirt very easily. But why give that shirt away to new signings who might flop like Di Maria in Memphis? Give it to bloody Rashford. He's come through the youth setup. He's doing great things. He's a Manchester lad, and he'll do the shirt proud.
Yep.
I love Griezmann, by the way, and I think he would be make a great number 7. But I'm not happy with what's happening with the number 7 shirt. It's almost been retired, and we need to get it back.
Well, yeah, for me, if Griezmann comes and does 1 or 2 seasons and actually shows up and puts in great performances, why not at that point, but not straight away. I completely agree with you at that point. For me, we can't just give it out for the sake of giving it out and give it to any player who seems to be suitable. No, keep it until someone really special comes along, like you said, Rashford or Martial even. I know he's not done it this year, but I have so much confidence in him that he will do it with the amount of quality that he's got. I'm sure he'll do it. But I completely agree with you. But to be honest, how much influence does a number have? That's what I've been thinking about lately. Because we've been saying, don't give it to him. Does it really matter? I mean, yeah, it comes with some responsibility and stuff. But I've just been thinking about how much it matters, and I wanted to get your opinion on how much does a shirt number actually matter.
I don't think it matters. In fact, I'm just going to kill this call and start it again because the Skype keeps breaking out and I've lost you visually. So I'll answer that and I'll call you back as well. Just while I'm doing that. But I don't think it's unfair to answer this actually while Sander's not here. But I don't think it makes a hell of a difference to the shirt number doesn't make a hell of a difference to the player. But what it does make a difference to is the fans. And that's what frustrates me. The number 7 shirt is iconic to me. Who wears that shirt is important to me as a fan. I don't think it makes any difference to a player. Maybe there's a bit of added pressure. I don't think it's been an impact on Memphis, to be honest. I don't think that's why he's playing bad. I don't think 17, 14 or whatever would make him bad. But it matters to me, Xander, the number 7 shirt. That's, as a United fan, it's an iconic shirt. But as a player, it's not an excuse. And I think the club has a responsibility to put the right player in the number 7 shirt. And I think they haven't done that over the last whatever while. I don't know whether they're promising it to new signings as part of the deal, but I think you've got to earn the number 7. I don't think you should just be given it, and we have just given it out to some real idiots. Memphis, Di Maria. I think even Michael Owen wore it. I mean, what was that all about?
Michael Valencia wore it.
Yeah. So we've had great players over my lifetime at Manchester United, and then we've had Beckham in it, Ronaldo in it. We should have a proper number 7 in it, and we've got players at the moment who could wear it. Anthony Martial had the number 9 taken off him for Zlatan again, a new signing taking a shirt. Why wasn't Martial given 7? I don't know. But Space Chimp, funny enough, just saying Martial will be world class. Kickoff's in 10 minutes. But what's your thoughts on the teams, Andy? Just while we've got a few minutes.
Yeah, I am happy with it. I would have liked to see Memphis play, obviously, but no, he's not involved. I would like to see Twanzebe come on. I don't know if he's on the bench or not, but I think
bench, no.
Is he not? I would have loved to see him play because apparently I've heard that he's doing great things in the 23s and stuff. So I don't know what more he can do, but I am happy with it. I would have liked to see Mickey start, just purely because he's got so much talent. Do you remember, Mark, when you did the watch-along for the Wigan game? And I know it was only Wigan, but I was watching it and you were just going nuts about how much quality he had. And I was watching it thinking the exact same thing. So it is there.
Yeah. Number 10, wasn't he? He played number 10 that day.
Yeah, exactly.
And Pereira was very good as well.
Oh, yeah, and he scored, didn't he?
I really hope he gets on and we see a bit of Mkhitaryan. I think probably 20 minutes, last 20 minutes, half an hour, if we're lucky, is what we'll see of him.
But for me, still, that's not good enough. Because 20 minutes, it's really hard. I play football myself, and I know you did as well. I find it very hard if I come on with 20 minutes to go or just in 20 minutes to get used to the game and to get into it. You need longer than that, and you need to show your real ability. It's not enough time, and just I just really don't agree with the whole 30 minutes, 20 minutes at the end of the game, because for me that's not enough. I just don't think it's enough time.
Martial starts. I'm happy about that. Mkhitaryan obviously on the bench, as we said. Schneidlin. I mean, what's your thoughts on Schneidlin? I think he falls into the Memphis category for me. He's had the opportunities, but a lot of people like him, and I can't deny it. Tonight is a massive opportunity for Schneidlin in that defensive midfield position.
Well, 3 years ago, I think it was, when he was at Southampton, he was bossing it, and best midfielder in the league and stuff like that. So again, the ability is there. It's just he hasn't taken it, and I don't have as strong as an opinion on Schneidlin. Obviously, I don't want to see any player flop. And with Carrick kind of getting to the end of his career, it would be nice to see him work and perform for us. And he is that good player that we saw at Southampton. So I don't have strong opinions on him, but if he works, that obviously that's far better than if he doesn't. It might sound stupid, but obviously with Fellaini and things, we don't want him to do well. Well, I don't want him to do well anyway. But yeah.
No, there's a few positions today that I would say, and I always say before we approach the game, what will I be looking at? I think Schneidlin falls into that position. I'm interested to see whether Rooney takes the opportunity, but definitely Martial on the left for me. I'm looking for a good game from him because I want him to be a first-team player. And Darmian and Luke Shaw, again, I think they are going to be our fullbacks for the next few weeks. So I want them to start performing. But yes.
Also, Mark, what I was going to say is I disagree with what you said about how Rooney shouldn't be in the number 10 position because I agree that that's not his best position. However, we need, in my opinion, this should be our starting kind of forward area. Marshall on the left, Mickey on the right, Rooney in number 10, and Rashford up top. he is our future striker, in my opinion, and we should be just playing him in these games to get him used to that position, because he's just playing on the wings at the moment, and he's a far better striker. And I know we've had Zlatan, who's not making the runs in behind, and so we need to start getting used to that style of play, because I think that's a much more effective style of play, especially with Rashford in it, who does that so well. So I think, I think we should be playing Rooney at number 10 and Rashford up top, or even Rashford on the left and Martial up top, because we've all been saying how Martial in the future will be this striker. So I think either one of them needs games up top, and that's my opinion.
Okay, I'm just going to pop off for a minute because I've got to put the heating on and the cooker. But give us your score prediction, and also, you know, how you think the game's going to go, and what one thing I did want to ask you as well is, do you think that if Rooney plays well today and scores a couple of goals, he should start ahead of Zlatan on Sunday?
All right. My prediction for the game today is I think it'll be 3-1. I think Pogba will score. I think Rooney will score, and I do want to see him break the record because he's been such a great servant for us in the past. So I do want to see him score and break the record. But Mark, to answer your question, I don't think if Rooney scores 3 today that he should be playing in the starting lineup. He's clearly on a downhill, and I don't think whatever he does would warrant him to get back into the team. I do agree with Zlatan to be dropped, but for me, Rooney shouldn't. If he scores 3 today, it doesn't matter to me if he gets back into the. It doesn't mean that he should get back into the team for me. I just think he's been awful for the last 2 years, and if he has one good game, a few good games, that shouldn't then get him back into the team. We've got so many players that can play ahead of him: Mkhitaryan, Zlatan, Rashford, people like that. I don't think he should be coming straight back into the team. I think it will be a much tougher game than at Old Trafford, especially Fenerbahce were awful when they were at Old Trafford, and we've heard a lot about their crowd in Turkey being pretty intense. So I think it'll be a tough game, but I think, like I said, I think we will win 3-1. I think hopefully Robin van Persie will get a goal, but it won't decide anything. And I do think, like I said, Rooney, Pogba. I don't know who else would score. Wouldn't surprise me if Martial scores. Actually, I'd like him to score. Nice. Maybe that gets him back into the team, and maybe gives him a confidence boost, because we've been hearing that he's low on confidence. So that's what I think. What about you, Mark?
I went 2-1.
All right.
Do you want to pop on at half time? Is that all right? Do you want to pop on?
I'll come on half time.
Cool. Okay. Well, enjoy the game, Sander. I've got to set a few things up, but thanks for coming on. Really good points, and we'll see him at half time as well. I'll just kill that call and close Skype down. But also, I've just got to let everybody know as well, we will be doing Skype Goldbridge right after the game, as per usual. So everyone get involved. It's Mark Goldbridge on Skype, and that will be straight after the game. So do send in your thoughts. Game's about to start in 5 minutes. I'm very excited. Just looking at Group A, we have got 6 points with Feyenoord after halfway stage, 3 games gone. Fenerbahce have got 4, so we'll have all played 4 games today. Fenerbahce beat us. They'd be 1 point ahead of us with 2 to go. So we don't want to lose. And I'm excited by the team. It's an exciting team. It's about to come out. Let me just say this. Guests are gone now. When we do the game live, it's me and the live comments. It's me and you. So get involved. Give us your thoughts. Any good little tweet, any good little funny lines, I'll tweet them out. Tactically, I'm looking for what you think's going on, who you think should be subbed, this, that, and the other. We'll keep you updated with what's going on in the game if you're not watching it, because I know not all of you can do. The timer will start in a minute below the score, so you can sync in with us. But it's me and thee. This is what the United Stand Watchalong's about. We'll have the guests on before. We'll have the guests on at half time. We'll get you on at full time. But when the match action starts, we listen to you. You said you just wanted it to be me and you lot on the live comments interacting, so we can read a lot of your stuff out. And obviously got Coco with me now as well, Coco the cat. But they won't do anything. But apparently Martial's been dropped from the French squad, says Niall. Good. He won't be getting injured then, will he? I don't know why he'd be dropped from the French squad, though. It seems a bit weird if anyone wants to expand on that in the half, if it's a bit of a boring game. But the players are coming out. Please do drop us a like on the video, because the watch-alongs especially, it's you and me. And it's massively you. I can't do this without you lot commenting and getting involved. So you like, the United Stand is your channel anyway, but you are liking the video. And also, I'd like a like. It'd be great to get to 1,000 likes tonight, because we've changed back to what we had a few months ago. We've got Draughty Devil back on board. It's his artwork. It's amazing, the setup we've got now. And you share it with us. This is, you know, people watch this and they think, wow, that looks amazing. And you're part of it. So please, please, if you like this setup that the Draughty Devil's done for us, please do drop us a like. And it's great that he's got Coco with me as well now. And the little move of the head there from Coco. But yeah, do drop it a like. I think it's fantastic to have this set up. But more importantly, it's fantastic to have you lot involved. So get commenting. Jesse Lingard, of course, will be watching the game. You won't get to see the game footage. We get asked this a lot. You won't get to see the game footage because we're the United Stand, we're the biggest independent Manchester United YouTube channel. And if we showed you live footage of a Manchester United game, Manchester United would shut us down because it's illegal. So it's a watch along. There is going to be a slight delay because it isn't second for second streaming, which is why we put the timer up for you. And you can sync in with us and watch it second for second. But we'll have updates, goal updates. We'll be talking about the game. A lot of you enjoy the watch along, so get commenting. Please do share it if you're on social media. And obviously, please do drop the video a like. We've gone up to 327. I really want to get 1,000 likes tonight because I think the return of Draughty's studio deserves 1,000 likes. And also, you lot deserve 1,000 likes because you are the best United fans out there. Never cease to amaze me with your comments, and do get commenting on the game, giving us your thoughts. I want to know, it's Mickey Watch. Is he warming up? When do we want him to come on? But personally, I don't know what you lot are excited about. Fraz Dunk says you need a guest during games. Well, we did used to have guests during games, and we can go back to that. But I'll throw that to you lot now then. We're only a couple of minutes off kickoff, but I throw that open to you lot now. Do you think we should have a guest on during the games, or do you prefer it when it's just me interacting with you on the live comments? I don't mind. We used to have a guest. A lot of you said you preferred it without. So it's your show. Sean Webley, is that a real chair behind me? Yeah, you can see it's got the United Stand logo impressed into it. Big Cookie says, will Rooney be in the squad? Yes, he's playing up front. In fact, I'm looking at him now. Captain Rooney. Oh, yeah, Rooney has a good game. I think the more people we have playing well, the better. 100%. Chad is a Chelsea fan. I don't even support Man United. But you know what? If you enjoy it, that's the whole point. EXO prefers it just me in the live comments. In-game guest from Kwame. Prefer it when it's just you, Robert. No guest, guest. It's about a 50-50 split. No guest, just you. I'm no guest. Dan was a good guest, says Gung Shi. I think you should have a guest, says Morgan. Guest, says Fraz Dunk. Timbo says, Mark, are you rich? I wish I was. Get Ashford from the van cam on, please. Rocky Mint. Well, if you can get Kevin Ashford on a show, he's more than welcome. We can't get him on any shows other than van cam at the moment. So if you can do that, you're a better man than I am. But he'd be more than welcome. I think it's a 50-50 split on having a guest, so maybe we should go back to trying a guest every now and again as well. Mark, do you watch The Walking Dead? Says Samir. Yes, I do. The game is about to kick off, so I just need to start the timer so that's all running for you. Bear with me. Rooney. We spend an hour chatting away, and then I'm not ready. Right. No, what's going on there? Right, that will be ready when the game starts. That will start, so that's good. And like I said, if there's got any little funny comments, I will tweet them out. I'm more than happy to do that. And we are about to kick off the game, so I will start the timer as the second I can see the first second of this game. Come on, ref, get on with it. And we're off. We're off, folks. Gucci plays. Mark, how did you get all the animations in the background? Like I said, drop a like on the video. It's Draughty Devil who's done that, so fantastic work by him. And the game is off. So we've got Schneidling coming deep. I didn't think I'd be saying that in the first 15 seconds. Coming deep to get the ball. And I think it was... I'm just trying to... Herrera's playing off Rooney. Pogba's playing slightly deeper at the moment, which is interesting. Martial on the left, as we would have expected. He's got 3 round him already. And that should have been a foul there by the ref. Not the ref didn't foul him, but he should have given it away. So Pogba's playing the deeper role with Schneiderlin. Funny there, Martial falls over from a pullback, and then Pogba does the same thing 2 seconds later. We don't get a foul, but the other one does. I love the standard of European refereeing. That's something I'm never failed to be surprised by. What a goal! What a goal by Fenerbahce. Cross comes in, overhead kick. 1-0. 1-0 to Fenerbahce. Ridiculous. Sao. 1-0. I'd have to see that back again. Well, the press will be loving that, but I don't. My first impressions, I don't know one about your lots, is that he should get this De Gea. No, it's a very good goal. It's a good goal. Cross comes in. Rojo's crap. It's for all those people who thought Rojo was any good. Rojo's got to do a lot tighter than that. He's got to at least be putting his head in, so it's a foul. Cross comes in from the right, around the penalty box, probably a bit further out actually, and Soho just kicks it over the top of his head. It's too high for De Gea to get in. It's 1-0 straight away. Disappointing, but I thought it was a good goal, Ian Seven. I would agree with you. But Anil, we would have Gary Neville on as a guest if he wanted to come on. But 1-0. 1-0 to... I did say to my mate today at work, do both teams to score, because I think both teams will score. And I would have been very right. But I take it I haven't seen Van Persie. Is he playing? Can anybody confirm that? I've not paid any attention to Fenerbahce. Are we relaxed? I'm relaxed. Are we relaxed? I'm quite relaxed. Early days, 1-0 down. It's a good goal. These things happen, especially when you've got Rojo there. Paul Pogba, good goal. Element 82002, a good goal. I thought it was a good goal. You can't account for good goals. I think Rojo could have done better. Like Yagami saying, what a fantastic goal. I'll throw that out to you. I thought Rojo could have done better. Jay O'Neill saying pathetic. It's a very good goal. Robin Van Persie's on the bench, says Tommy Herald. I don't understand why that is. Do we know why? Has he got a slight injury? He's been benched. But it was a good goal, but I think Rojo could have done better. They're my thoughts. And I do feel sorry for those United fans who, when somebody has a half decent game, they suddenly jump on the bandwagon. Oh, maybe they won't be the crap player that we've always thought they were. And it's the same with Fellaini. I'm sure he will come on at some point, or he will start a game and he'll do well. And a few United fans will go, "Oh, he can do it. He'll be a great player," and then they'll let you down. And that is, Rojo will let you down. He's a poor defender. He stands off people, and then if he goes tight, he gets skinned. So he is a very poor defender. Does anybody know what the story is for Smalling? Is Smalling injured, or has he just been totally dropped? Robin Van Persie scored 2 at the weekend, says Dev. So he scored against us at Old Trafford. He scored 2 at the weekend, but he's on the bench. But I mean, why should we be bothered? It would have been nice to see him. Mr. Neon NZ, already hate these fans. To be honest, I've got experience of this anyway. Over the years, Turkish fans, they make it very advantageous for themselves by being very vocal, and it is an intimidating atmosphere. But sometimes in a way, we're starting this game off 1-0. It's character building, isn't it? And the players should respond to it. Luke Everson, Rojo has been playing well the last couple of games. Luke, I repeat what I just said there. He's had a couple of good games, but the shitness will out. He is not a very good player, and that was shocking defending. Consistency with Rojo will always be that he's just not a very good player. Just having a quick read in my tweets there. And I've also just had a message from a Villa fan winding me up that we're 1-0 down. But I'm quite relaxed about it. I mean, I don't want to be 1-0 down, but I am quite relaxed. We've got a good lineup, and it's a very difficult place to go. It is intimidating, and it's a chance for people to shine today. Rooney just on the ball there. Nice little ball to Martial. Typically... Oh, no, we did get that. That's all right. It's a throw to us. We've just got to take our time. Rojo is not a good player, says Human, which is very true. Every team playing like Real Madrid against us, says Ridwan Abubakar. And Rojo needs to go, says Andrew Adams. Poor losing already, says Mini Kid. I mean, to be honest, De Gea can do nothing about that. And United Branch says, Mark, I don't think Maldini would have defended that. Well, I disagree. He's just not tight enough. And at the end of the day, when a player's got their foot that high, all you've got to do is put your head in, and then it's a foul. Smalling is injured, says Danny Collins. I thought Herrera had a red card, said Daft Bust. Yeah, that doesn't matter in Europe. It's a different thing. He misses the Swansea game. And that'll go for a corner if Rashford's clever. And it has gone for a corner. Not that we're any good at corners. What I would say, and just try and keep your blood pressure down, is I think this referee is already a home banker. I said banker. He seems to be giving a lot to Fenerbahce, but he's probably scared. Poor corner by Rooney, not beating the first man. And the thing we've got to do at the moment is just get hold of the ball a bit, dictate the game a bit, because the second goal would kill us, and we don't want to be giving up a second goal in this game, because I don't think we'd come back from that with this sort of team. Blind is playing as the right-sided centre-back, which is where he's been playing anyway, but I think you lose a bit with Blind playing on the right side of the defence, because obviously he's so good with the left. But it'll be an absolute car crash waiting to happen to play Rojo on the right side of centre-back. So as I was saying anyway, a lot's happened in the first few minutes, but Pogba's playing the more withdrawn role. Schneiderlin's playing... we're just getting shoved off the ball a lot here as well. Schneiderlin's anchoring the midfield, Pogba's the next one, and then Herrera's playing as the more attacking one. I mean, Rooney's just running alongside him there. Get a tackle in, Wayne. Can we show the live footage, says Daniel? No, we can't. With the United Stand, we're a fan channel. If we show live footage of a game, we get shut down. So we don't do that. Luis Roberto, Rooney is too slow. I would agree with that every day of the week. But I want to see Martial doing well today. That's what I want to see. He's drifted inside a little bit here, but it's a good switch of the play there by Schneiderlin. You want to see that a lot more, because I think his movement of the ball is sometimes a bit questioned, but Martial's central here at the moment. Nice little intricate play there to Pogba. Cross should have come in there. Rashford shoots and wide from outside the box. A little bit better. We're getting hold of the ball, which is exactly what we need to do. Just watching the goal again. In fairness, you know what? I will retract things when I'm wrong. And Sal gets himself in a decent position between Blind and Rojo. Nobody's tight to him. And just as the ball's coming to him, Rojo gets across. And I think he's probably not expecting him to do that, in all fairness. And it's a good finish. There can be no fault on the behalf of De Gea. And it might be slightly harsh. I mean, he is at fault, but, we're talking about Rojo here. He's not a Vidic. He's never going to be a Vidic, and he's never going to get in tight on players, unfortunately. A few people saying they want Mkhitaryan on already. Early days. I don't think we'll see Mkhitaryan until the second half. But Daley Blind is really splitting out there. He's almost playing as a right back. So we're really pushing our... what we're doing is we're pushing our fullbacks very forward. Is that bad English? And then Schneiderlin's dropping in to the middle of the centre backs who are splitting. So we are trying to push on and use the flanks. Martial's getting a lot of the ball at the moment, and he's keeping the ball, which is good. Good opportunity here for him to run onto it, into Rashford. We're using nice little... I like Martial's start, actually. He had a bad first couple of touches, but since then, Then he goes and plays a bad pass. But he's been getting hold of the ball, playing nice little passes, moving off, having it back. And that's what you need to do with Anthony Martial. Use his pace, exploit the opposition's lack of pace. Rooney's very good at pointing, isn't he? But he needs to do a bit of running himself. Put on Zlatan, says John Colling. Why are Man United so bad? There has to be a reason, says Joseph. It's very early on, Joseph. So much rotation, drops Zlatan, says Hard Studs. Missed first 10 minutes, how did we let the first one in, says Antek. It's a very good goal. You'll see it at half time, Antek, or if you can catch it on Twitter, have a look around on there. It's a very good goal. Cross comes in. It's not an overhead. He does kick. It is an overhead kick, but it's not like he's gone up and overhead kicked it. It's a very good finish. De Gea can't do anything about it. But they're on the attack here, Fenerbahce, and I don't know whether he's going to give a penalty there, or is he going to book him for diving? I think he's going to book him for diving. Oh no, they've given the free kick, and they're booking the United player. Odd refereeing. I did say that we would get that. I did say a few minutes ago, didn't I, that the referee looked like a home banker. In fairness, if Schneidlin catches him there, it's a foul. And he does. It is a foul. It is a foul. It could have easily been a penalty. I don't like it when we're doing things like that, because it's justified and you can't blame the referee, but it was a free kick. It's waiting for it to come in, but it's not a penalty, as Fakul says. It's not a penalty. It was on the line. Doesn't matter if it's early days, we're losing to Fenerbahce, it's a joke, says Andre Robinson. I don't think you can really account for that sort of a goal. It's just one of them things, and one of them things seems to be happening to us at the moment, whether it's the goals we're conceding or the goals we're not scoring. I think the player leaves. To be honest though, I think the player on that free kick leaves his leg there to be kicked, but that is exactly why Darmian's penalty against United was a penalty, because there's contact there and you can't really argue about that. But I'd liken this to the Feyenoord game. Everyone thinks, oh, we're going to win this. But when you look at any British side going abroad in Europe, when do we ever go abroad in Europe and dominate teams? You know, Arsenal against a bunch of farmers the other day needed a late 3-2 win. And Fenerbahce are a far better team than that. You look at, I think sometimes we're all guilty of falling into that trap. You look at the lineup and you think 4-0. Was it? Some people were saying 4-0. I think I went 2-1 United. Because it doesn't happen in Europe. You very rarely see that happen. And these are decent sides. Rooney here shrugged off the ball. He's kept going though, to be fair. He needs to do that. He needs to fight harder. I think we might have a throw in their opposition half, right near the corner flag. Chris Hedge says we're crap. Disagree, Chris. I don't think we've had a bad start at all. I think it's just one of those things in relation to the goal, and I think we'll build on it. It's not been a bad start at all. Which I'm just tweeting out there. If you've got any, let's have a look on the live comments if there's anything worth tweeting. Feyenoord has scored, Mark, says Nathan Lee. I know, it's 1-0. It says it on the screen as well. Manchester United fans, it was Ross who said 4-0. Well, obviously it's not going to be nil anyway now, but Ryan Horn, good to see Rooney scrapping there. It was. Man United fan 269. Man United should get their head on. And we've got the whole game, says Kieran Monaghan. Yeah, I mean, Feyenoord are the home team, but they're almost playing like an away team now because they know. All the pundits saying we're going to lose, Luke Everson. So again, it's not a foregone conclusion. Not a foregone conclusion that we were always going to go and win this game. Wazza FC, if you've got an opposite point, I'm more than happy to read it out. You don't have to agree with anything that I say, but you are watching it at the end of the day. Dan Miola, Rooney's free kicks make me feel physically sick. I'm going to tweet that out, Dan, because it made me laugh and it might make the masses laugh as well. It's interesting that I don't know what people think that with Pogba playing sort of a withdrawn role, referee is determined not to give us anything, because I personally thought that was a foul on Marshall, just outside the box. But you know, you expect this. What do I think the score will be, DST? I think it will be 2-1. That's what I predicted. I think we'll come back into this game. Just need to keep our heads. It's just one of them things. Will Mickey play, says Ali Darach. I hope so. I've seen it all now. A pig flying in Turkey, says the Draughty Devil. I'm going to tweet his tweet out in a minute when I get a spare second. He did say we've made a pig's ear of this game so far with Sao scoring. Ba-boom, boom. It's a lovely ball by Pogba, switching it out to Darmian. Oh, it's a real shame he didn't take that into his stride. Throw into United. If he took that in his stride, it was such a good ball by Pogba. Josef, the blame the ref business is getting old. Who's blaming the ref? Josef, no one's blaming the ref. What I've said is, you get a bad standard of referee in the Europa League away from home. We saw it in Feyenoord, and it was an early warning before they even scored. And the ref's nothing to do with us losing this game. I just don't think he'll give us much. That tends to happen. A Coco for man of the match. Where is he? There he is. Twist the finger. There he is. He's moved for me. Look as well. He's enjoying it. He'll just sleep there anyway. Don't need me a piece anyway. Don't know why that's there at the moment. Batman is Rooney sabotaging our season. Say I'll have Europa League with Everton next season. I don't think Everton can afford his wages. Sean Webley, Fellaini time. The physicality of this first 20 minutes probably makes me think that it is. And not a bad game for Fellaini, to be honest, but we'll see. 3-0 Man United, says Christian Haywood. Be an absolute start. He's going to book Herrera now as well. I think the ref's shocking. I've got to be honest. I think the ref is shocking. You booked 2 players in no time for tackles that you didn't need to book for. But I just think the standard of European... I mean, as bad as the likes of Clattenburg are, and they are shocking, you only need to watch Europa League to see. I mean, it's bad in the Champions League as well, but European football is always an eye-opener. You can't wait for the ball to come to you there, Marcus. Right, you're going to book... No, not going to book a Fenerbahce player for a very similar foul. My point proved. Pogba's down with a knee to the leg, and he's not happy, but not even a thought to go to this card. They're diving all over the place, Fenerbahce, as well. Well, I think that's a yellow card if you're booking, especially the Schneiderlin one. Pogba's injured, which is great. Mourinho's not happy with the referee. I think he's probably on the same page as us. By Pogba. I've seen this referee before. Unfortunately. I think Pogba's probably got a dead leg looking at the likes of it, because it's a knee into the leg. Which would probably mean, if he comes off, it would probably mean Fellaini. A scary thought. Mkhitaryan in, please. I don't think so. Stop complaining, says Menez Z. No, I like it. I'm sick of Rojo just backing off players, says Exo. That's probably the comment of the game so far tactically. We love all that, and I think you're spot on, mate. It's something I've noticed for a long time. He stands off players way too much. And I think the reason he does that is because if he can't seem to ever register the in-between bit of defending. He either stands off too much and lets everyone have a shot, or he gets too close and gets skinned. He's a Serbian referee, says Ali Dunk. Shoot, Tony. Oh, what a ball. Oh, Rooney! What a ball by Martial. Puts him in, and that's just Rooney to a T. What a ball. He's well onside. It's a lovely ball. That's Rooney for you. I mean, he's a player of his quality. He should be taking that first time. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the live comments. Shane Lim's not happy. Corners come to nothing as typical. Yeah, a lot. It's the first touch of Rooney. Typical terrible touch from Rooney, says Tommy Harrable. Terrible touch, Ryan Horn. Stephen Schnellhorn. Rooney's awful. Yeah, he's getting a lot of... again, you can't blame the manager for that. It's a fantastic bit of play by Martial. But hopefully... I did say it before the game, though. Rooney should be scoring today because he's got so much attacking talent around him. The chances will come. He should have scored then. You know, any Wayne Rooney. I know he's on the decline, but he should still be scoring that chance. It's a fantastic chance. Pogba is done, says La Hairline. He might be better off coming off Pogba, because if he's got a dead leg, it's not going to do him any favours. He's got to come off. He's hobbling around a lot. Oh, lovely bit of skill though. I don't want him to come off. I want him to carry on. There, he'll be coming off. And if he comes off, I think he's got to try and run it off though, because it's a dead leg. I don't know, I haven't had a dead leg for a long time. Mark, what do you think of Jose 50,000 fine when the rule is 8,000, says Mad Marcus? I don't know. You know what I think? I'm doing Wolf of Wall Street. They're fun coupons for Mourinho. He's loaded. Screw the FA. Rooney done, says Paul GH. Pogba looks like he's overacting a bit, to be honest. Just run it off, lad. It's a dead leg. If it's a bad dead leg, though, he'll be out of the Swansea game. So we really want him to... We can't afford Pogba to be out. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the risk. Bad defending again. Where's the mark in there? There's like 2 or 3 Fenerbahce players, and all I can see is Luke Shaw. And I think Rojo's moaning because they're not playing an offside line. Well... No, Rojo's just in no man's land. Yeah, we'd be in all sorts of trouble, wouldn't we? If Pogba's out with a dead leg, Herrera's out suspended, our midfield would be step up Bastion. I don't think Schweinsteiger would be ready with 1 week's training, to be honest. Oh, yes. Matthew McFadden, come on down. Your sentence is going up on Twitter. Through balls to Wayne Rooney are about as useful as Arsenal's trophy polisher. It's going up, Matthew. That is fantastic. Keep them coming. Stage them. Think about them. Take a few minutes to think. You know, we've got all night, but do think about it. And if I spot good comments, they will go up on Twitter, and that has gone up there. I hope it gets the retweets and likes it deserves, Matthew. It was very good. Hemraj says we'll score before half time. I hope so. And Priest Puncher, what happened in the first 20 minutes? Well, we are 24 minutes in. Basically, we went 1-0 down after 2 minutes. Cross comes in. It's one of those like this. I'll do it for you. He's got his legs gone up and over his head. It's not quite an overhead kick, but it's one of them. And De Gea can do nothing about it. You could be pretty harsh on Rojo. I think he's probably culpable. But that's because I just think he's rubbish. And then we've pretty much been in control. We've moved the ball around well in midfield, typically. And then a brilliant ball by Martial puts Rooney through one-on-one, takes a touch, loses control, and doesn't even get a shot on goal. So that's the story of the game. United branch, we're doing Call Goldbridge after this. You are the stars of the show on Call Goldbridge every night at 8:30, but live after every Manchester United game. Skype Goldbridge is what it is, really. Mark Goldbridge is the username on Skype, and you can Skype in straight after the game and give us your thoughts. So if you're thinking of doing that, maybe do yourself a few notes or do it raw, but we want you on and we want you to hit it hard. Don't come on like the goal's just been shown again. Watching it. To be honest, I think Blind and Rojo are to blame. As an ex-defender myself, you've got a striker unmarked by 2 centre-backs. He's got all the time in the world to do an overhead kick. It's bad defending by both of them, if I'm being honest. But don't come on, Call whether you come on Skype Goldbridge after the match tonight or you come on a weeknight at 8:30, take the opportunity. You know, Sander was on before disagreeing with me about Memphis. If you want to disagree, that's fine. But, you know, come on, have a rant. You never know where it would lead. You could go viral, or you could get a viral. But good movement of the ball. Fellaini is about as useful as a hearing aid for a blind man. You're trying. Last time Fellaini had a good game is when Liverpool won a league. James Cabot. Rooney's legs are as rusty as Liverpool's trophy cabinets. Trophy cabinet hinges. I'm going to use that one as well, Lanky Snake. It's another good one. I don't want to blitz Twitter with jokes because people get a bit fed up with them, but we will use some of them. Right, here's Rooney. Fought off the ball. He's really... I feel sorry for Rooney. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I feel sorry for Rooney because I just think he's so on the decline. It's just an absolute shadow of his former self. And I think even the Rooney fan club have started to accept it now. You know, it's not Rooney hate. It's Rooney decline. He's so far off. I wonder what he's like in training, actually. I wonder if in training he's still doing it or not. I don't know. Due to M, do you honestly think Pep is a fraud? Yes. Until at this moment in time, I think Pep Guardiola is a fraud. Yes, and I won't change my thoughts on him until he's won the title at City, because I think his whole career is based on having money at Bayern Munich, and he failed. He didn't win the Champions League. I don't care what anybody said. It's a very easy title to win in Germany. And he did that. He failed in Europe, and his Champions League trophies are based on the best team I've seen in my life, which is Messi and all that lot. Pogba's going off. That's horrific news because he's probably out of the Swansea game. Cue everybody saying he shouldn't have been starting today. Give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts. He won't play on Sunday if it's dead leg. Fenerbahce are well on the break here, but I think we've got back. And they've put their chance wide. I'm multitasking. Zlatan's coming on. Oh, great! So we're going to put Rooney into the midfield, even better. Yeah, they were never going to score from there, to be honest. So Pogba's off. Pogba was playing bad again anyway. Carmichael. I thought Pogba was doing well. I did. So Zlatan's on, which means Rooney into the midfield. Which means Herrera drops back. My thoughts on this game are it's descending very quickly into quite an unwatchable game, to be honest. Because Rooney can't even. Rooney's. At least he's out the way as a number 9, Rooney. As the dictator, as the number 10. I hope I'm corrected. I sit here now with all you lot saying, I hope at the end of the game I'm wrong. But I think Wayne Rooney as our creative force as a number 10, that's probably the match gone. I do. I don't understand that at all. He could have just brought Mkhitaryan on and not changed the team. A substitution when somebody goes off injured a substitution should not impact on more than one position. You've got to make that substitution of that player, but when you're making a substitution that not only changes that player, but then you swap in another position as well, that's 2 positions changed, and that's impactive. So we've took Rooney from 9 into 10, we've put Herrera from 10 to the midfield, and you put Zlatan up front. So that's 3 positions we've changed, when we could have just changed 1, which would have been Pogba for Mata or Mkhitaryan. And I think we'll struggle in this game now. Unless Rooney's going to suddenly defy science and produce a performance he hasn't done for 2 years. He's just not a number 10. Can you dab, Mark, says Daniel. I'll only dab when we sell Fellaini, and that's not happening anytime soon. We do hold on to the ball way too long, Ashton Fletcher. A very good tactical comment there. We do hold the ball for too long. And I think that is, for me, residue from the Van Gaal era, where we held on to the ball for way too long. And I think it's imprinted in the players' brains after 2 years. And I think we do that too much. I think we moved the ball quicker than we ever did under Van Gaal. But Rooney's done quite well there. He actually won a physical challenge. Finds Martial, who's suddenly got 3 players on him typically. Good little play between Rooney and Martial. That's what we want to see. And, unlucky. That's better. Better. Hey Ben Studios says subscribe to the United Stand. If you are new, I forgot to say that. If you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. Always live content, always interactive with you lots, and always daily content as well. Hologram in the bottom right hand corner to subscribe if you are new to the United Stand. Always welcome, always about you. Daily Blind isn't having a great game. I know a few of you said that in the live comments. But my concerns turn to Swansea. I mean, if we lose tonight, Europa League, we will be down to 3rd on 4 points. Sorry, we've got 6 points. We'd be probably 3rd with Fenerbahce up to 2nd on 7, because I assume Feyenoord will win and go up to 9. So pressure on the last 2 games for us. But for me, it's all about Swansea. It's all about the Premier League. And I think, we know for a fact Herrera's out. I reckon Pogba's probably out, because with the dead leg, he won't train for 2 days. So our midfield is depleted. I'd like Zlatan to get a goal, though. Oh, he's played it on. You've got Rashford in. Oh, he's overhit the pass, Zlatan. The one thing he was actually doing quite well. But Rashford's turned his man. Oh, keeper. Corner ball. Crossed by Rashford. Keeper palms it back just before it goes to Zlatan. Or it would have been a tap-in. Maybe he would have missed. Why are United so boring to watch every week? Says, I don't think we are boring. I mean, that's entertaining, that chance there. I don't think we are a boring side. I just think people want to overlap it with the last 3 years, and we're a very different side to the last 3 years. We're far more creative. We're just not taking our chances, and defensively we're a bit of a joke at the moment, to be honest. I need to keep more of an eye on Schneiderlin. I don't know what everyone's thinking up. Zlatan's trying too hard with his creativity at the moment. Oh, we've won it here. Herrera's got space. He needs runners ahead of him. Zlatan's got people all over him, but he's found Darmian there. Cross along the ground. Typically not beating the first man. Joe Budder, why are we wasting corners with Rooney? I don't know. I think I've been saying for a long time, when it comes to Manchester United and corners, I think we almost should just give it to the opposition and let them have a goal kick, because we waste corners so much. Manchester United fans not happy with Zlatan, saying he's the biggest joke ever. I wonder if he'll sub Rooney in this game, because I think if we're 1-0 down, we don't want to lose this game. And would he do the old Rooney for Mata thing that he normally does, Mata for Rooney? Interesting thought, isn't it? We're having a lot of ball in this game anyway. There's a pass to Herrera there. Stop passing it backwards. But we're not too far off time, are we? Off half time. Missing Tarjan, says Spiral Footballer. Good one. Meta official. Rooney corners are better than Harry Kane's, to be fair. What was that all about in the Euros? It was an absolute embarrassment, wasn't it? Bring Fellaini on, says Nerd Slayer. I think Fellaini will come on. I do. I think it's probably the sort of game as long as he's going to play in an advanced position, don't play him as a defensive midfielder. But if you're going to maybe chuck him on as a number 10, which I always say about Fellaini, he's not a United player, but if you're going to play him, at least play him where his best position is. Rooney now with a bit of a space, nearly got the cross in, blocked. I mean, Rooney, in honesty, hasn't done that bad in the last 5 minutes. I think if it was Mata, we'd be saying he's doing well. So, maybe... Is Rashford. The referee started to give us a little bit at the moment. Oh, Rooney's done quite well there. Into Martial. They've won it back. He's doing all right. I'm not going to lie when players are doing a good job. I certainly think Herrera going into that deeper midfield position works well. But we're definitely the progressive team at the moment. What we've got to look out for is on the break. Shaw looks fat. Says Space Chimp. I think he's just bulky. S95 get Mu out. Removes Zlatan and bring in Griezmann, says Ragath. And Rooney's such a good player, says Hey Ben Studios. Hey Ben, I don't know where you've been for the last 2 years, because he hasn't been. Jake Ford. Rojo couldn't mark a bit of paper with a pen. I'll put that on Twitter for you. I don't know how many. Let me give you a tweet update for those tweets that I've put out for you. Rojo goes to number 10. Jesus wept. I've got 13 retweets for that. Pogo off with a dead leg. Pogo Pogba. Rooney's legs are as rusty as Liverpool's trophy cabinet. 30 retweets. 3 balls to Wayne Rooney are about as useful as Arsenal's trophy polisher. 49 retweets. So that's our best one so far, but you never know. Rojo couldn't mark a bit of pen with a paper, might do quite well. Just a wayward cross there by Fenerbahce. And where are we? I know there's not lots to like on the pitch at the moment for United, but a bit of an altercation here with Zlatan and Kjaer. And he's brushing the referee off. I love Zlatan. He looks up for it, Zlatan. Though. I mean, that's what you want. I've been quite surprised by him recently that he just his attitude doesn't seem quite right, because my experience of him is that he is a professional and he wants to win. And I tell you what looks good at the moment. Coco's little seat over there. Look, he's moved for me again. I've had quite a hard day at work. I'm quite tired myself. I could do with a little nap. The weekend's interesting. Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Everton. So we need to beat Swansea. We know that anyway. But if we can beat Swansea, we should be able to make up. Well, we will make up grounds on at least 2 teams ahead of us. So these are the weekends where you can't afford to not win. I mean, it's a bit like last weekend, really. But we need to win, because we will start to make up a little ground. Small steps at the moment for United are what it's all about. I'm indifferent about the Europa League. I have been for a while. I'm not too sure about its importance, but Tito, Carrick or Schweinsteiger will start due to injury. Any new FIFA career streams yet, Mark, says Delta Lads. I was going to do one last night. It's been a really busy week, but I will do one on Friday night at 8:30. Sometime, international break, I'll be able to do them a hell of a lot more. But when it's busy with United, it's difficult to get them done. So no, I'm still really enjoying the FIFA career mode, and that's on FIFA United Stand for people who aren't subscribed to that channel. We're into the 2nd season now. It's going okay. But yeah, I just not had the time this week, so 8:30. we're really close to half time now. I mean, what are people thinking? I think Anthony Martial's done quite well. I think Schneiderlin's done okay. I think Rooney's done slightly better as number 10, but he should have scored that chance. We should be 1-1. It was a great ball by Martial. The ref is a joke, Amar. I think I've said that a long time. Alex O'Donnell, it'd be embarrassing to not at least qualify out this group. It was embarrassing to not qualify out from our Champions League group last year. Shockingly embarrassing. That group was awful. The best team in it were Wolfsburg. But I think Herrera's done really well since he's gone back a position. That's one of the positives of Pogba going off, is that Herrera's done a lot better. And Rashford and Martial are coming inside a hell of a lot more. Our final ball's just been slightly off. And another free kick. The referee's poor. And they're trying to make a meal out of things. I mean, I don't know what Rooney's done here, but at least it's a bit of passion. I want to see that. I want to see a bit of passion. Zlatan's in there and just grabbed Skirtle and just sort of took him out the argument. I mean, Skirtle's a big bloke and he's suddenly in the picture, then he's not, and it's Zlatan's hand. But good. We want to see a bit of this. We want to see a bit of passion. Good. Rooney doesn't even touch him. It's a dive. Going to be half time very soon, folks. I suppose the question always has to be, happy with that half? Who's done well for you, who's not? Setting up a tweet so we can send that out, and then we'll get Sander on as well. I mean, Fenerbahce, in fairness, haven't done a hell of a lot in this game. They scored a good goal, I'll give them that, but I think United, as we have been for the last few weeks, we are typically struggling in that final third of the pitch with the final ball. Man United being taught swimming lessons, as Abdul, diving lessons for sure. That's European football for you though, unfortunately. I completely forgot about Mkhitaryan, says Light Yagami. Hopefully we'll see Mkhitaryan in the second half. I think Martial's done well. He's got to start playing him in the Premier League games, because I think that's where Martial will really show his worth. I think defensively, we've seen tonight what Rojo and Blinder's centre-backs do. It's not a great centre-back pairing. We've again seen why Wayne Rooney's struggling to break the record. I'm amazed there's not been a yellow card for Fenerbahce, but we've had 2. But the referees in Europe tend to be bottlers, especially when there's a volatile home crowd, and he's not been great. But that's not why we're losing. We're losing because of a good goal by Fenerbahce and some pretty wasteful final balls from United in the final third, whether it's shots or actually just creating chances. But we've been in control of the game. We're just not creating enough. Apart from that Rooney chance, not created enough. Ryan Allen, Mickey used to own end-to-end games like this in Europe. Well, let's hope he can get on and own a bit of this game, because we are lacking something. Oh, their goalkeeper got a yellow card. Good. Zlatan cross into the keeper's arms. Sounds like a name for a pub. Into the keeper's arms, doesn't it? But Daffy I am, now that Pogba's injured, who's going to give dance lessons to Lingard? Oh, come on, that flick off. Rojo just stood off it. He's terrified. He just stands about 10 yards off everybody. That should have been 2-0. And Rojo was running after every mistake. Rojo religiously goes shouting at everybody else. I mean, look, just watching that chance back, he's about 15 yards off him, like jockeying him. It's just farcical defender, Rojo is. Having possession is not controlling the game, says Ferguson Alex. Yeah, I disagree with that, to be honest, but we don't have time. Not quite half time yet. It's not quite half time. Get Coutinho. No, he's a Liverpool player. We don't want any of them. Oh, good. You know what? I thought that person had been blocked already, but we'll block him now. I can jump on the live comments sometimes, Mad Marcus, and there's a name on there that I despise the person. He leaves rubbish comments all the time, and he obviously thinks he can come on the live comments and start doing it. Cheerio, Tom. See you later. I'm sure he'll open up a new account and do it again, but just an absolute time waster and joy breaker. And he's gone. Darmian's been really poor, says Vihan. Wouldn't disagree with that. What do you call Rooney Pooney? Why United? Hope Mickey comes on for Rooney, but I bet he'll take off Herrera, says Atul. He'd probably take off Rashford or Martial. Probably take off Martial, to be honest, because it's the sort of mad substitution. I think Rooney will get 90 minutes regardless of what he does tonight. I just think that's totally set up for him, which means he won't play against Swansea, I suppose, is one thing. Herrera should get 90 minutes as well because he can't play against Swansea, and it'd be ridiculous to take off a player who's actually, I think, been our best player since he's moved to that position. I think Zlatan's forcing it too much with his final ball. So poor again from United, says Tom Elliott. We need a player like Goats, says Sanchez. Martial has been our best player, says Andrew Adams. I think he's been okay. James Niel says, was Mkhitaryan worth £30 million? I think the question at the moment is we can't answer that question at the moment. We just do not know. Half time, it's 1-0 to United. We wish. No, it's 1-0 to Fenerbahce. And I don't know. I don't really know what I think about United anyway at the moment. I just don't know. I think if Wayne Rooney takes that chance, we go in at 1-1, aren't we? But unfortunately, he doesn't, and you just can't. You can only set the team up so much, and I think it wasn't. He's got to take that chance. Ultimately, he's got to take that chance, and he doesn't take that chance, and we don't score the goal. My highlights of the half probably would be Martial. I thought Martial played really well. I thought Pogba. I actually thought Pogba was doing okay until the substitution. But I think after the substitution, Rooney going to number 10. Don't know whether I agree with that. I think Rooney is just so finished. It's sad. But I thought Herrera dropping back to a more defensive position alongside Schneidlin made a massive difference. I think we really did start to see the real Herrera there. So I thought he did well. Back four, Rojo and Blind were totally at fault for the goal. A striker should, you've got two centre backs and a striker in between. One of them's got to take the man. It's a good finish. De Gea can do nothing about it, but one of them's got to take the man. Poor defending, but a good goal. Darmian and Shaw not really set the world on fire. Schneidlin's done okay. Herrera I've been impressed with. Pogba was doing okay. Rooney has just got to take that chance. What a ball by Martial. He puts you through one-on-one on the penalty spot, and your first touch is like that of a brick wall, and the chance is gone. He's got nobody near him either. Poor from Rooney. He's done better since he's gone to number 10, which surprised me. Rashford's done okay, but I think yet again with Rashford, final ball, not all there. So for me, the standout players would be Martial and Herrera. I don't know what anybody else thinks. I hope we don't lose to a lucky goal, says Hayden. It's a good goal. Darmian and Shaw can't cross, Nikhil. It's been a constant theme of United for many years. Our fullbacks, you need to put good balls into the box. It's good to see Schneiderlin starting tonight. Give the lad a chance, says Alex O'Donnell. Well, you can't expect the world in his first game starting. I thought he's done okay. Herrera and Martial have been the standouts for me. Mkhitaryan, a lot of you mentioning him. Hopefully we will see him in the second half. I think it'd be nice to see Mata, but we probably need to keep him back for Swansea because I don't think Pogba, the story from Pogba from the first half, he's got a dead leg, he couldn't play on. Dead leg, probably going to be a couple of days at least. I doubt we'll see Pogba against Swansea. We won't see Herrera, so the midfield is a concern. And it's a big concern because I actually think Pogba, Herrera and Mata have been fantastic. We've just not been taking the chances, so that is a concern. Sorry, but Mourinho has to go, says Romeo KGT. Way too early for that. Rooney is finished, says Stay Clint. Ban Will Warlen, says William Davies. I'm sure Mad Marcus will pick up on that. Free Mickey wants Mkhitaryan on for Rooney. Our right side can't cross at all, says Rocky Mint. To be honest, I think Rashford needs a rest. I wouldn't be opposed to get Mkhitaryan on for Rashford. Play Mkhitaryan, Muller 91. Crisis at United if you lose this game, of course, says Mario Velen. I wouldn't take it as a crisis. I know people don't like losing, but it's only the Europa League. I'm not, I think Sunday's where it's all at for me. Carrick will play and will win, says welcome to Zlatan. If Carrick is fit, there's rumours that he's not. Perfect game for Mkhitaryan to come on. We need Bellerin and Ricardo Rodriguez, says Mokan. I doubt we'd get Bellerin, although apparently he's not happy at Arsenal. Mark, this is not a game for Mkhitaryan. He'll get out-muscled. Mickey on for Rooney. Play him at 10, says Varun. Rooney couldn't pass a kidney stone, says Exo. Typical Man United scoreline, says Dale Niche. Rashford needs to be played as a striker, not as a winger, says 1MUFC. Good point. United fan says, I'm hotter than Zac Efron. Yeah. United is better with Zlatan in it, says Adam Smith. I'm a fan of Zlatan. And Marcus says he needs to Skype Goldbridge. You have to wait till after the game, Marcus. You can Skype me after this. And as I presume, if we lose, a lot of you are going to want to Skype and have your say. So definitely do that. We want your opinions and we will be live straight after the game for those opinions. So, yeah, definitely do. Skype Goldbridge live after the game. Sanders coming on. Let's get his thoughts.
Hi, Mark. Sorry, my Wi-Fi wasn't working.
It's all right. I can hear you.
Yeah, right. Nice one. Firstly, I'm not being funny. What was Rooney doing? Like, that chance that Martial slipped him in and he did that heavy touch. If he does a decent touch on that, that's their sin 1-1, and then their whole game plan changes because they have to try and come out to us, which leaves then gaps in the back. So I think, that for me is enough to confirm his decline. It's ridiculous. Also, for me, Mkhitaryan's gone. Pogba comes off, injured. Perfect opportunity for Mkhitaryan to come in. He's not been playing. He's got perfect opportunity to prove himself. What does he do? Brings Zlatan on. It shows that he just doesn't trust him. For me, he's gone. I just don't understand it, because surely if he's going to play him, that is the perfect opportunity to play him. I was baffled by that, and that also confirms to me that he's done. I thought the commentator said this, and I agreed with them. The Martial and Rashford were coming very central, and it was making it very tight for Rooney and Zlatan stuff, and so they couldn't play. But as soon as Martial got on the wing and actually drove at them, and he did that 1-2 with Rooney, I think it was, we caused them all sorts of problems. So I think they need to stick wide, and we'll cause them problems. But wow, for the goal. I know we probably could have got tighter, but that, wow.
I think they're sort of blaming Daley Blind for the goal because he loses his man. But for me, Blind's not, I think they're both to blame. I think, there's two centre-backs, there's one forward, and he's got enough time and space to produce a finish like that, which is a fantastic finish, and De Gea is, can do nothing about it. But it's two centre-backs, one forward, and you should never be giving anybody that sort of space to do that. So poor defending. But that's what I would say from the first half. I think we've seen from, they're just showing that Rooney chance back again. Let me just see. Pass, It's just control. It's control, and you're in. And he should control it far better. First touch is diabolical.
And Mark, they always say, players don't lose their touch. They may lose their fitness, and they may lose their, like fitness and stuff. But they always say they've still got the touch in them. His touch is completely gone. I mean, he gave a pass away, and I remember, and I was thinking, how has this happened? I mean, the guy's only like 31, 32. You've got Giggs playing on till whatever age, and you've got this guy, and the whole fitness thing. He didn't want to take care of his fitness, but I just don't understand how his touch is so bad. I really don't get it. It baffles me.
Rooney's always struggled with his touch, to be honest, if he's not playing games. But that's shocking. I mean, he could have let it go across his side and played it with his left foot. It's just simple killing a ball, and it's amateurish. It's amateurish. Even a Sunday League striker could control that and get it out your feet and score. It's just an awful touch. Fitness and touch is connected at the hips, as Alex O'Donnell is true. But a lot of people are not happy with Sander saying that Mkhitaryan's done. I think what he's getting at there is, and we talked about this before, me and Ross, is that if Mkhitaryan doesn't come on in this second half, I would start to worry about him being done at United, because Mkhitaryan's been in the press a lot over the last few weeks. If Mourinho doesn't pick him when he's fit, it just becomes a big story. If he puts him on the bench, he sort of appeases the press, but he doesn't use him. If he uses him today, I think he's part of the plans. If he doesn't use him today, then I'd be a little bit concerned about that future. So I don't know whether that's what you're thinking, Sander.
But it was just, for me, it was the perfect substitution. I was thinking either that or Mata, right? Either that or Mata. And because Mkhitaryan's been such a big story over the last few days, I thought it's perfect for him to be for him. That's a perfect substitution. And maybe I'm being strong by saying he's done, but for me that really puts massive question marks because you've got if I was Jose Mourinho and I had trust in him, I would put him on then, because that's the position he plays. It's a nice game for him to come back in. There's been all this hype, and that gives him a chance to play. But he didn't. He put Zlatan on. And for me, that confirms it. Or that really, really makes me doubt whether Mourinho actually wants to use him or trusts him. I don't know if you've got any views on that, or if you feel the same or different, but that's really how I feel.
I think the second half will be the key, and we'll wait and see, won't we, at full time. A few people are Skyping me now. You won't get on at half time. Skype Goldbridge straight after the game, full time. If we lose this game or it continues like this, I'd expect a few of you to be taking the opportunity to come on and have a good old rant. But I think at the moment I'm quite relaxed about it. I mean, it's not been fantastic, but as I was saying there before they showed the Rooney chance, Rojo and Blind, I just think those fans who thought it was a good idea. It's the same it's the same fans who thought Fellaini was a good idea. It's not going to happen. Consistency will catch up with you. And Rojo and Blind as a centre-back partnership, there's a reason it's never been used before, and that's because it's a bad option. But at the moment, he hasn't really got many options, because Smalling's injured, Bay's injured. Do you play Phil Jones? I mean, to be honest,
yeah. And we were told that he's not going to get all these injuries, didn't we? And he'll be fine. Kind of digging out Van Gaal, we've got them. So he
should have bought a centre-back in the summer. I was amazed we didn't buy a centre-back in the summer. I kept going on about Manolas, and we didn't buy a centre-back. I mean, even Mustafi, I think we could have got that deal done, and he's done well at Arsenal. But we should have bought a centre-back in the summer. It was very important, and we didn't do it. And the reason we should have done it is because you can't trust the players that we've got. We might have enough centre-backs on paper: Bay, Smalling, Blind, Rojo, Jones. But three of them are just, they're going to let you down. And it's a problem. I mean, my concern is Swansea at the weekend, and I think it's a problem, a big problem.
And Mark, I tell you what, they've been our bogey team for the last few years, and I am not confident whatsoever that we'll go there and get. Is it at home or away?
It's away, and I think Herrera's out. I think Pogba will be out. I mean, Andy's just said there it's a dead leg. It isn't bad. It isn't bad. He'll be out for about a week. He'll definitely go and play for France in the international break, which is fantastic. But he will probably miss Swansea because it'll be a couple of days where he can't train because he's got a dead leg. So I don't think he'll play on Sunday.
I'm not confident for that game whatsoever. And I know we the Europa League isn't our main focus, but the way we're going on the league, it kind of has to be. I said it the other day, and I think we really need to start thinking about the Europa League. It's a horrible competition. However, to be honest, I heard Ross say before that 8 points is an easy kind of gap to get back, and that you can get 8 points back in 2 or 3 weeks. Fair enough, right? 8 points isn't too much. It is doable. However, the problem is the amount of teams in between. Not all of those teams are going to drop that many points for us to be able to catch up with them. That's where the problem lies for me. It's not the 8 points. It's the amount of teams in between. So, to be honest, I think we really need to start concentrating on the Europa League. I know we're jumping to conclusions with the whole Swansea thing, but I would not be shocked at all if we don't go and get a result there. So, yeah.
Well, it's Spurs, Arsenal, and it's Everton, Chelsea. So if we can win at the weekend, then it means that we will make points up on at least 2 of them teams. If they all draw, we'd make it up on 4 of them, and that's those little steps are the sort of steps that we've got to make at United. But Swansea have been a difficult, bogey team, like you say. And we've got to win that game. The points we've dropped at home to Burnley and Stoke, which we never should have dropped, have made this game unlosable, undrawable. We've got to win it. But tonight, what would you be thinking about in the second half? I mean, I've said it. Herrera will play 90 minutes because he can't play on Sunday. I think Rooney will play 90 minutes because he always seems to play 90 minutes. So for substitutions,
I would. If I was Mourinho, I'd say more of the same. We haven't looked bad. We've looked like we've created a few chances. I'd say more of the same. If it's still the same kind of result at 60 minutes, 65 minutes, I'd look to be making a lot of change. A few changes. Who have we got on the bench? That Mkhitaryan. I'd like to see Mkhitaryan come on. I don't know. It's just I don't think we've looked that bad. Let's be honest, right? I don't think we've looked really bad, and we should be worrying. I think we need to calm down. However, if it's still like this at 60 minutes, you need to be changing. And we've been blaming Mourinho for this. It's not on Mourinho. It's not, because he's put out the team he wants, and that's a fine team, right? The players there are good enough to beat this team easy. It's on the players. They are not putting in the effort. Or maybe they just don't have the quality. Maybe they just don't have the quality. But it's not on Mourinho for me. It's not on Mourinho. And Mark, all the press will jump onto it. Oh, Mourinho this, Mourinho that, his worst run and all this. It's just frustrating, to be honest, because there's a massive agenda, and he's banned against Swansea as well. I mean, what was that about? It's just ridiculous. So purely for the sake of Mourinho, actually.
Second half for Schneiderlin.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming on, Sander. With the game's about to kick off, but cheers, pal, and we'll speak to you soon.
Nice one. Cheers, Mark.
See you, mate. Amazed. I'm absolutely amazed by that substitution. I don't know whether he's injured or what, but that I can't see. I don't think Mkhitaryan will be used now, because I do think Fellaini will come on. I don't understand that substitution at all. The shoehorning of Rooney into the team. Forming team continues again. It is an absolute shocking substitution. I think Schneiderlin and Martial were my 2 players that I thought were playing really well, and he's taken Schneiderlin off. I mean, I know what he's doing. He's going to get Herrera anchoring the midfield because he wants to win the game, and I can sort of see that. But Herrera was doing a good job anyway. He obviously wants to get Mata on the pitch, and is terrified of taking Rooney off. The obvious thing to do was to take Rooney off and go Mata, Herrera and Schneiderlin. But he bottled it. Schneiderlin is expendable, Rooney isn't, and I've got to put the timer on. But yeah, just wonders never cease, do they? There we go. Well, let's see what you lot are thinking. Pushin thinks Schweinsteiger will be back playing sooner rather than later. We've lost Pogba. Rooney's very bad. Feel sorry for Mkhitaryan. We need more attacking centre midfielder. He won't use Mkhitaryan now. He won't. It'll be Fellaini. I hope I'm wrong on that, but I just... I don't know. The timer is on. Don't worry about it. Just give it a few seconds. I think Mickey will come on at 80 minutes, says Mo Khan. I think it'll be Fellaini. Blaming Rooney again. Laugh out loud, says OSG. You know what? If you're going to leave a comment, add something. If you're going to make a comment like that, add something to it. I've just told you why I blame Rooney. You go in blaming Rooney again, laugh out loud. Why don't you go blaming Rooney again? He's had a really good first half. He's hit the post. He's running the game. Obviously, it'd be a load of rubbish, but at least try. I've spent the last 45 minutes telling you why Rooney shouldn't be on the pitch. If you want to shoehorn Mata into the team, you don't take one of your best players off in Schneidlin and then have a Rooney, Mata, Herrera midfield. He should have kept Schneidlin on, and if he wants Mata on the pitch, you take Rooney off. Madness. I feel anyway. It's not really a Rooney witch hunt. I thought Rooney did okay in the second half, when he went to number 10. But I thought Schneidlin was doing really well. And again, it's a player who's given an opportunity and subbed at half time. I mean, you may as well just put Schneidlin on the transfer market, because if he can't stay on the pitch in this sort of game, unless he's thinking about Swansea, which I don't think he would be, maybe. Tito, who got subbed, well, Pogba went off in the first half injured, so Zlatan came on. And Schneidlin's just gone off at half time for Mata. Dan Mielo says, if you can't see Rooney as well past it, you are supporting the club, you are enabling its ineptitude. Zlatan will score tonight, assist from Rooney, says Adam Smith. I hope so. I think Mata will give us more creativity, without question. Manchester United fans says Schneidlin was shockingly bad. I did not see that at all. I would disagree with it. Daniel Byrne is going to start blaming Fellaini. I will if he comes on. He's an absolute rubbish player. Pogba dead leg, says Blazing Guns. And well, let's just hope we can get something out of this game. I don't think a draw would not be a bad result at this stage. Lots going on. Right, Schneiderlin and Herrera were booked in the first half. Yep. Worst player so far, says Brian Miro. Open to you lot. Go on. There's a cat, Max says. Yep, there is a cat. It's my little Coco the cat at the back, having a little sleep. I don't know what's going on here. United just took a quick free kick. It's a bit tempestuous out there. I think the referee's not really ever got control of the game. But a final ball again is just not good enough. Rashford's final ball, I think, has been quite consistently bad over the last few weeks. I love Rashford. He's my favourite player at United, but I just do think his final ball... And I agree with what somebody said at half-time. I forget the name. I apologise. I just think he's not a winger, and he's been used as a winger all the time. And he's not a winger. Keep him on the bench and use him as a sub for Zlatan. We've got wingers who can play out there. Rashford's a forward. Stop confusing a 19-year-old who's growing in the game and making him turn into what is effectively a glorified fullback at times. He's an attacking player. Let's use that talent. Rayo's been terrible, and Damian's giving the ball away too much, says Attel. Terry Henry says, is Mkhitaryan any good? He's very good based on his form at Dortmund, but we've not really seen anything in a United shirt yet. It's sad how bad we are compared to City, says Julian B. It's funny because after the Burnley game where we should have won, and you have that massive disappointment, and then the week builds towards another game, and you start to feel enthusiastic again when you hear that Schweinsteiger's back involved, and you see the team line up and Mkhitaryan's on the bench and Martial starts, and you start thinking, we have got a good team, but then couple of things start to go wrong. You do start to question it, I suppose. But I don't think we've been that bad in this game. I think it's a very difficult place to play in Turkey. And I just think, their goal was a very good goal, although it was bad defending. But, I've religiously watched the last 2 years under Van Gaal, and it wasn't this sort of football. It's a lot faster. There's a lot more forward passing. And we are creating a lot of chances, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't know what football you've been watching for the last however many years that British teams have been playing in Europe, but it's very, very, very rare that an English club especially goes abroad and dominates and scores loads of goals. As I said, Arsenal the other night at against a bunch of farmers, 3-2. And this referee is not letting the game flow, which doesn't help. I mean, KG 5-6-5-3. Has anyone honestly seen an improvement from Louis van Gaal? I don't think we have in relation to results necessarily, but 100% in relation to the way we're playing. Definitely. Lee Carman, it's embarrassing the fact we've spent like 300 million or more in the last 3 years and we're bang average. I think you've got to forget the last everything apart from the last 3 months, Lee. To be honest, you can't compare Manchester United to a new manager's. You can't compare a new manager's reign to the last 2-3 years, and I think it's a very easy trap to fall into. But you can't. Mourinho's reign started in August, and it's a very young one. And I think the only relevance the last 3 years has is the impact it's had on the confidence and quality of squad we've got. And I agree, the quality of squad is not good enough. It's got so much dead wood in it, so many bad buys in it. I don't think we've utilised the pace of Rashford and Martial going forward enough in this game. Would you take a draw, Mark? Says Ashwin. Well, at the moment, we're considering the only real chance we've had was that missed control by Rooney, where he should have at least got a shot on goal. I think he probably should have scored. I'd happily take a draw at the moment because I just don't think we're creating anything anywhere near enough. But Martial's done well in this game. Rooney heads wide. Martial is doing. I think Martial's been our standout player in this game. Really, really impressed with him. He's the huge positive. For those people who actually care about the Europa League, of which I don't really care much about it, although I do agree it's becoming more and more relevant to our season because realistically we should be fighting in the top four, and that's what this season should be about. The Europa League should be trying to get out of it as quick as possible, but it is becoming more and more relevant, unfortunately, because of our poor league form. If we lose this game today, we currently have 6 points with Feyenoord. I don't know what Feyenoord's result is at the moment, but I imagine they will win and go up to 9 points with 4 games played. If we lose this game, Fenerbahce will leap ahead of us and go to 7 points with 4 played, and we will be in third place with 6 points with 4 played. So with Feyenoord at home to come and Zoya away, it's not in our hands anymore. So we don't want to be losing this game anyway. We can't really afford to lose this game. So as much as I've said, I think the next substitution will be Fellaini. If he's got any brains about him, and there hasn't been a fallout with Mkhitaryan, it really should be Mkhitaryan coming on because we need to score a goal, and he creates goals, especially in Europe. So let's hope that we see that. It's 1-1 with Zoya and Feyenoord, and they're down to 10 men. So that could be beneficial towards us, actually. We'd have to beat Feyenoord at Old Trafford. I think we will win all our games at Old Trafford, so we'll definitely get to 9 points. Rashford nearly getting the cut back, and it was nearly to Rooney. Mata just wide, better. See, we are creating chances, still half an hour to go. Better. Shaw's been awful, says Tahir. I don't think either fullback's been great, but they are our fullbacks for the next few games. We need them to play. Ibrahimovic is rubbish, shouldn't be playing, says Danny Leatherhead. I'm going to Old Trafford for the Feyenoord game, says Kieran Monaghan. Enjoy. I hope to God it's not Fellaini, says Space Chimp. I think we will go for Fellaini because I think it's just that sort of physical game. Matter Mr. Sitter there, says Terry Henry. Wouldn't call it a sitter, to be honest. It was a chance. Wouldn't call it a sitter. But box up your feelings because we will be having Skype Goldbridge straight after this game, and it will be about you. So give us your thoughts. Yeah, I hope some of you come on and share the passion you're having in the live comments, because some of you have been quite unhappy, I would say is the word, and definitely want to see what you've got to say. Let's try and be positive. That's what the United Stand should always be about. We've got 525 likes on this video. If everybody hits the like button at the bottom now, just click that like, just one click. Let's see if we can get over 1,000 likes. And the reason I want to get 1,000 likes on this video, as Fenerbahce get a free kick and he's waving his yellow card like those Europeans do, makes me sick. I think the studio deserves 1,000 likes. I mean, we've got little Coco the cat there. He's looking at me again. Look, there he is. We've got little Coco the cat. I've got a fantastic studio, and it deserves 1,000 likes. But also, your comments deserve 1,000 likes as well. It's been fantastic. So please do like the video, and let's get one positive out of this night so far, because at the moment we're approaching the hour and it is still 1-0 Fenerbahce, and they've got a free kick and it's about 30 yards out. Shouldn't be beating De Gea from here, but we've seen one very good finish tonight already. Team needs stripping back and more youth starting, says Damon Matheson. I mean, I do agree with that. I did say it when the team news came out. Remember, with the watch-alongs, we're always live an hour before kick-off for the team news, so you can join in with that. 2-0. I can't believe it. Round the wall, 2-0. I think it's another good free kick. Get Mkhitaryan on. I'm just looking at the free kick. Yeah, he can't do anything about it. It's a great free kick. He's got to go caution to the wind now. I mean, the press are going to jump on this, I'm sure. I'm almost... yeah, it's a good goal. I mean, unfortunately, I was doing something else at the time. I mean, Romeo KGT saying Mourinho has to go. I would balance that by saying that both their finishers have been half chances. 30-yard out free kick against David De Gea, one of the best in the world, and you score it. It's an exceptional free kick. The overhead kick, it's an exceptional finish. I would argue 10 times out of 10 that Rooney's chance when he's put through one-on-one by Martial is an easier chance than those two goals they've scored, and we don't take our chance. And it was the same against Burnley. Confidence is just is all oozing out of United, like an unhealable wound. It is not nice to see. Mkhitaryan is on. He's on. It's what we wanted. It's the script is written. He's off for Rashford. That is the substitution I would have made, to be honest, getting him out on the right. Game on, everybody. Well, I wanted it to happen. You wanted it to happen. We all wanted it to happen. It's happened. Let's do it. Let's do it. Superior number one is saying David De Gea is... Well, he swore. I totally disagree. I thought the overhead kick was unstoppable, and the free kick was fantastic. That's what his wall's there to do. He's curled it round the wall. I think it's a fantastic free kick. I don't blame David De Gea at all. I know it's disappointing that we're 2-0 down, and you always look for somebody to blame, but I didn't see the free kick that led to the goal. Was it a free kick? Who gave the free kick away? Blame them. You're giving them a free kick at goal. That's why it's called a free kick. Update the score mark. I don't know who scored for them. If somebody tells me in the live comments, I will put it next to Sal. But I do not know who scored for them. That the ref's not getting much of a grip of this game. Mata's going out wide, is he? I think that's a silly comment. RPFST. City Batty Boys, I nearly said. City Batty Boys. City batter Barcelona. United getting done over by Fenerbahce. I think that's a really irrelevant comment because the word we've been talking about it all week. Turkey and Fenerbahce, one of the better teams in Turkey, is always an intimidating, difficult place to go. So you can't change the goalposts and say, "Oh, we should be battering them." That's not the case. And yes, City had a very good result at home to Barcelona, but Arsenal scraped a win against Farmers away from home in Europe. You can't. I don't like that, and I see that a lot on Twitter at the moment. It's like even the broadsheet people on Twitter, like the Telegraph and people like that, they're getting loads of interaction on social media now through what I call very lazy comments. Like they did it the other day. Who were they on about for £20 million? Somebody. Oh yeah, Gundogan. This is from like the Telegraph or something like that. They said Gundogan cost £20 million. And United paid Pogba's agent £20 million. And it gets loads of retweets from Arsenal fans because they're like, oh yeah, it's great. And it's absolutely irrelevant. It means nothing. Because one, Juventus paid that agent fee. And two, we had to pay £89 million to get Pogba. We've got no Champions League football. We paid a premium to get one of the best players in European football. And actually, if our strikers could finish, Pogba would be one of the top assist makers in the league. So it's just ridiculous. I don't buy into this. Oh, City beat Barcelona and we're losing here. I find it ridiculous. And I do back the manager and I do back Manchester United. I think it's way too early. And I think today, there's been some poor performances. But I'm firmly in the camp of the players being responsible. And I think both goals by Fenerbahce, unfortunately, have been very good. Patrick Boyle, very good question. Mark, when can fans question Jose? I'm going to write that down and we will use it on Call Goldbridge. I think it's a very good question. When can fans question Jose? And we'll be throwing that to people on the who call in on Skype Goldbridge, Mark Goldbridge, after the Mark Goldbridge is the Skype name after the show. I'm certainly not going to do it. It's down to you lot to do it. I'm not going to do it. I think at the moment, in brief summary, I felt this game was lost the minute we put Rooney in as a number 10. I think he's finished and should not be anywhere near the team. And that feeds nicely into what I was about to say. I think Manchester United's big problem, and the big problem that Mourinho faces, because I think we have played some good football this season, is that you can't go in. It's not FIFA. You can't go into a team and spend. Well, you can't go into a team. That's good touch by Darmian there. Fenerbahce just biting into tackles, and you can't fault that. You can't go in and sell a whole squad and buy a whole squad. That never happens in football, only in FIFA. So he's bought 4 players, and 4 players is not enough to build a team around. It's a start. So what he's got is he inherits a squad that is endemically riddled with bad signings who've just not performed. Whether you can list them off: Rojo, Schneiderlin, Memphis, to name 3. There are others. Darmian, they've not really performed. So he's inherited those signings who've just never done it in the United shirt, really. And then he's got the professionals, the senior pros at United, who've been a part of failure for 3 years and more. And I'm talking about Ashley Young, Smalling, Rooney, Valencia, Carrick. I mean, I know some of them do good jobs, but they've been part of this problem for a long time. And that, you know, you're getting into like 70% of our squad there. So it's the players. The players are to blame. And I think it's a long job, and I think it's going to take time. My only criticism of Jose is something that I think anybody would say, is I don't understand why Fosu Mensah's not involved today. I think he's ready, I think he's good enough, and I think he can give us far more than some of those players out there. But, you know, that's the only thing I would say. But as for blaming him about anything, no, not for me. I think it's way too early, and I think you've got to look at player performances. I just really hope Mkhitaryan can do something in this game, because I think Anthony Martial has. I think Fenerbahce are destroying the game, just chucking themselves down. But you've got to expect that in European football. I like Mkhitaryan when he's on the ball, though. He's like a ballet dancer. He's got so much poise and grace. But you know, the ball's going to Rooney too much. He's hitting the ball to the right back, 40-yard passes, and people go, "Oh, look at that pass!" But it's just, you know, Mkhitaryan's in space and he doesn't give it him, he gives it to Martial. And by the time the ball gets to Martial, he's got 3 players around him and he's lost the ball. Mkhitaryan's actually gone central, I think. See Rojo again, stands off his man. Good tackle by Darmian. Our defence is shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I think the centre-backs especially, I mean, I don't know how that happens. Rojo again, standing 50 yards off his man, allows a cross to come in, and then you got, I mean, I don't know who's in, where is Daley Blind there? I mean, it's only a good recovery tackle that keeps us in the game. Shocking defending, really, really poor. Really, really poor. Death from above saying that Mourinho is finished and so are United. Yeah, whatever. I never wanted to be in the Europa League anyway, so I won't lose any sleep if we go out of it. My concern is the 4 points we've dropped at home when we should, you know, any day of the week we had so many chances to beat Stoke and Burnley. And if we had those 4 points, we'd be in a far better position. But I think it's encouraging that he's used Mkhitaryan in the central position, because he'll be far more involved in the game. But you've got to feed in the ball. Only 20 minutes to go. I think this game's gone, to be honest. I don't think we can turn this around. Well, we've mainly because we haven't really created any chances. It's a good cross in there though to Zlatan. Disappointing. Jose out, says SNYK. Yeah. I'm looking forward to call Goldbridge. Not. I just think, you know, like Mkhitaryan it's the same old problem with United. Mkhitaryan seems to be coming to asking for the ball all the time. Like Rooney can just give him the ball. Yeah, finally, give him the bloody ball. He's better than you. It's a foul. Good. He makes things happen. He plays forward passes. A yellow card there for a Fenerbahce player, probably well overdue. But it's going to be a free kick from distance. It's definitely a free kick. Skirtle's nowhere near it. But I just think we're going to run out of time in this game, and ultimately we haven't really created any chances whilst having a lot of the ball. We're just not creating enough chances, and you cannot argue about that. So Zlatan's on the free kick. I would imagine this probably will end up somewhere around the crowd behind way over the bar if that's anything to go by. But we'll see. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but no, hits it into the wall this time. Obviously wanted to keep it down. Woeful. But there we go. I'll be amazed if Mata doesn't get booked there. It was a blatant, petulant yellow card right in front of Mourinho, so I doubt he's going to be happy with that. If you know what I'm singing under pressure, because I do think, as bad as that may sound, I do think he is under he is under pressure now. You know what? People always say, well, not everybody, some of you are actually quite nice, but people do say, oh, you think you know it all and you're arrogant and everything like that. But I did say in the first half that the minute Rooney went back into number 10, we'd lost this game. And we just don't create anything. You see Mkhitaryan here. Just can't beat the first man, unfortunately, but it's good control. I've seen enough from him in this game. He's actually not losing the ball. He's actually finding people that makes me think, I've been thinking it for a long time, that he should be starting games. But I actually do think that this game probably will end up 2-0. Won't be a moment. Still here. I was just shutting a door because the noise was getting on my nerves upstairs. I don't know why I've got that in preparation for you know what. Yeah. We need a goal now. Which is totally and utterly obvious. But I find, we just get into positions and like Luke Shaw giving the ball away there, we're just not making that final pass count. And I think that's been a running theme for quite a while at United. Mkhitaryan just give it away though. He's not going to do himself any favours. Please don't score. Thank God De Gea saved that, because it would have been Mkhitaryan's fault. Probably won't get him playing again now for a while. $15 minutes left, and the bad thing about this game is we just actually haven't created the chances that we did in the first half against Burnley. We just haven't created the chances. Rooney thinks he's better than Mickey, so he doesn't pass to him. Yep, I'd agree with that, Mokan. I think that's abundantly clear. I think as soon as Rooney went to number 10, it was over. And he's compounding a bad performance. By not passing. I always say this as well about Rooney. Don't forget, everybody, he is the captain of Manchester United. Lest we all forget. He is our leader. I mean, I've given up on that one for a long time, but I'm just setting up the stream for Call Goldbridge, and I hope people will call in and let rip, because that's what we want. And if you don't let rip, then I'd be wondering why. Swansea won't be. I mean, what I would say, Swansea won't be as hard a game as this. I must, try and find some. I mean, what is that by Rooney? He's trying to play a pass. He just can't play. Oh, come on. Rojo. You sort of start to see the problems, don't you? Well, you know what? We're in it together, folks. We've always been in it together, and we will be in it together. And real Manchester United fans will be in it together. Just remember that. No matter what happens, we've got each other on the United stand, and we've seen bad times before. And my concern has always been what this result will do for us against Swansea. And they nearly should score again. Cross comes along the box, Emenike stretching. A multitude of sins in the Manchester United defence. Just cutting through us all the time. Rojo nowhere near. Blind nowhere near. I despair at our defence has been... That would be my memory of tonight. Is I think Fenerbahce's goals have been very good, but they could have had a lot more because our centre-backs have been awful. And to be honest, I'm looking at Rooney there. He's tired or he just doesn't care. Just not tracking back. I think tiredness is probably fairer. Just not got it anymore. But I'll be absolutely furious if this set of players force out this manager, because I think he's the right man for the job. You might not think that, but I really do. I just think this always just keeps highlighting the enormity of the job that we've got. That's got to be a foul. You can't dive in on a keeper's hand like that. I think the ref's been rubbish. It's no excuse. I'm just, for those of you not aware of what I might be doing, I'm just setting up the stream for Call Goldbridge, which I have done, and what I'll do is, this is probably going to be 3-0, which is not good. Please do, if you've got it in the goodness of your heart, drop us a like on the video. It's not even for me tonight. I think the setup and Coco the cat, wherever he is, deserve 1,000 likes on this video, because I think the graphics are amazing, and that's one thing where the United Stand is undoubtedly the best football YouTube channel out there, bar none. I think the graphics provided by the Draughty Devil are top notch. Whether you think the person sat in the chair is or not, he's open for debate, but there can be no question of that. It'd be fantastic if you could give us 1,000 likes. It'd be brilliant. But this game is gone, and I did feel it was gone. The minute he put Rooney at 10, and people can say, "Oh, you're blaming Rooney again." Well, you know what? It's not. He doesn't put himself there, does he? But it's just a constant problem for the club, and you just never felt like we were going to get back into this game, which is really not acceptable. But there we go. Let me just check that works before I announce it to everybody. I think it will do. There's no reason why it shouldn't do. And it does. Fantastic. In fact, there's even people commenting in there. First line of the video description is the link. We've got the link for Skype Goldbridge there. Don't go there yet, because that stream will not start until this one has finished. But Skype Goldbridge will be straight after the final whistle. I'll just end this one and start that one. And we'll be taking your calls via Skype. It's Mark Goldbridge via Skype. And do get involved. I really, 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 if there are people out there who are feeling ready to explode and rant, because I'm actually not, which is strange. I just think I'm going to back this manager, and that's where I'm going to go. I think some of the players have been awful, but I'd love to get some views from people who are blaming the manager, who are passionate about what they believe, and that's the whole point of doing them after the show. So do get Skyping, do take the opportunity, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm intrigued by what some of your opinions are going to be. Because this game's gone, folks. It's gone. It's 2-0. There's 7 minutes left, and we haven't really created a chance since that Rooney one. I mean, even Mkhitaryan. I've been quite disappointed, actually. I don't know whether many of you have noticed it. I have actually been quite disappointed by the fact that Rooney has just been and not giving him the ball. I mean, Ankush Ahuja on Twitter says we're playing worse than we were under Van Gaal. I don't know. I don't know. Let's leave it for you. He's onside there. Oh no, he has given it offside. Mkhitaryan on the ball. I mean, one thing I would say about Mkhitaryan is his distribution and control of the ball is a joy to watch. And I think we've only got one player in an attacking sense who's like that, and that's his balance is so good as well. Martial shoots from distance. Well, why not? At the end of the day, why not? It's I'm sure he'll get a blame for it. I mean, Sharrell's gutted. I'm looking forward. I hope some of you come on and just let rip and give it all you got. But back to Mkhitaryan. I just like him as a footballer. I just hope we can see a little bit more of him. At least he's going to have a few minutes in his leg. There's a blatant pass there to Mkhitaryan, and he hits it long. I mean, Martial's got it, and then his final ball is awful. Lazy by Martial, to be honest. What's wrong with our players? Five minutes to go. Wolfie Gaming feels like crying. Mark, you are very naive with United. This is Henry GW. I don't think you've been watching the United stand for very long, Henry. I've been very, very critical of the last 3 years under two managers. I refuse to pick on. I refuse to pick on a manager after how many games has he been in charge? Is it like? It's only just over 10, isn't it? So, and I would rather reserve my frustration for the players who've been here for many years, some of them, who just they're just shadows of themselves, and they've been shadows of themselves for under a number of managers. So, You could easily say, well, Rooney's playing bad because of Mourinho. Well, what was his excuse under Van Gaal? The same goes for the likes of Memphis and Rojo. You know, they've been under 2 managers, not good enough. My blame goes with the players. I mean, it's certainly the players' fault that we've got 4 points less than we should have in the league because they didn't take the chances, the multiple chances they had against Burnley and against Stoke. So 4 more points in the league, and we wouldn't be moaning about the league, and we should have 4 more points in the league, and that's not down to the manager. Oh, that was nearly good play there. You see, we got. It's good. It's good. Mata's never. Oh, come on, Mata! You can't let the goalie run out and then run with the ball. At least he's got to just be putting it into the stands. Mata's got to be careful as well because he's on a yellow card. Mad Marcus is ready to call Goldbridge. Good, and I'm ready to take your calls, folks. It's not about me. I will do my match review, but it's a more measured match review. Mkhitaryan on a run into Zlatan. Zlatan loses the ball. I've liked what I've seen from Mkhitaryan, I must admit. I don't know what you lot have seen. It's exactly what I sort of know. It's a very cameoed performance. I don't know what he's just done there. He's just given the ball away, which is odd. But I mean, we're approaching the game, so I've got to give you my thoughts because you won't get many of mine really on Skype Goldbridge. We're looking for you lot, and I just think we've got a goal back. Jesus Christ, I didn't see it. Who got it? Rooney goal. Wow, that shut me up. Let's have a look. It's a good goal from Rooney. Don't know whether it gets a slight deflection. Well, you never know. You never know. What we got? 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Matt has just not got the pace, unfortunately. You never know, folks. You never know. Four minutes. Come on, United. Come on. Just don't know. We could do it. We can do it. Be a fantastically confident building points as well. And just thinking about, I really do think Mkhitaryan has made a difference. And just update the score. Let's go. Does that change your mood slightly from the mants and the rants and the moaning? I mean, Rooney probably would start against Swansea, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just thinking because Pogba... There's a pass there, Herrera, and it's to Mkhitaryan. He's got absolutely acres of space. Give him the ball because he actually looks like he'll do something. Give him the ball. He's there. Give it him. Give it to Mkhitaryan. Ignores him again to try a Hollywood pass. I mean, do they just not like him in the team or something? Because there's total ignorance. Total ignorance by Herrera. On 2 occasions there, he could have passed it to Mkhitaryan, who's been creating stuff, and he goes for stupid passes. Now, I'm a big fan of Herrera, but just give the creator the ball. Like Rojo, give him the ball. Thank God, give him the ball. He's got it now. Give it him back. Oh, what are you doing? Give him the ball back. There's definitely an issue, and this, you know, anybody who's played football at any level will tell you this. If people don't like people, they don't give them the ball. Now, Rojo clearly does like Mkhitaryan because he's given the ball a couple of times. Herrera cross, not very good. Retain the ball. 2 minutes to go. It's poor by Shaw. Mkhitaryan's picked it up. Into Herrera. Maybe give it him back. Corner ball. Unfortunately, we can do absolutely nothing from corners, so that's the problem. Mata's cross. Rooney up. Another corner. Nearly scored. Light's heart is beating so hard. I don't think we're going to score. I don't have a feeling that we're going to score. Herrera, another corner. He wants a penalty. You're never going to get one from this referee. Let's have a look at it back. It's going absolutely mad. He blasts it. Mkhitaryan on the corner. Please put a good one in. Please. It is a good one. It's into the keeper's arms. And he'll go down injured now. Yeah. Cheating little sod. Rooney's header was a good one. It was going to go in. Now here's the Herrera shot. There's a massive distance between the ball and when it impacts. No, it's not a handball. It's his hip. Be very harsh anyway. His bodies were close. It's not 2-2. Don't listen to this, to the spammers. They're showing the Rooney goal again. He hits it. I think it might get a deflection, to be honest. But you know what? If you don't buy a lottery ticket, you don't win the lottery. Get ready for Skype Goldbridge. A lot of you watching. I believe there's quite a lot of you watching now. Please just drop a like on the video, please, just for the studio graphics from the Draughty Devil. I think he deserves it. And also, if you're not a subscriber to the United Stand, please click the hologram in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe. Daily live content. It's all about you. But most importantly, get over, link in the top line of the video description. Get over to Skype Goldbridge after this. We're taking your Skype calls, and it's looking like it's going to be a United loss unless we can get a goal late on. I want your thoughts. We want your thoughts. Good, bad, or happy, or whatever. Get commenting and get involved. I don't know what we're doing here. We're giving the ball to Fenerbahce, but we're into the 4th minute anyway. They must have wasted at least a minute. We might just get one more chance. Rojo, just get rid of it. Why are we playing with 3 defenders? He's going to blow. Get the ball up. It's a foul to United. It's a foul to United. He'll get booked. Fenerbahce. Right, now, chuck it into the box. Let's see what happens. Jabiran thought it was a penalty. In fairness, I didn't think it was a penalty on that Herrera shot. I think it's... I don't think we'll score from this either. Everybody's forward. I think De Gea should be forward as well. Zlatan's up. He'll blow. He'll blow. He's blown. We lose 2-1. We lose 2-1, everybody. Right, okay. Link in the top of the first line of the video description is the link to the Skype Goldbridge thing. I'm going straight over there and I shall see you there. Get over there and